ठीक है जी।
जो टाइम से आने वाले हो उनके लिए सजाना।
हाँ जी, हाँ जी।
बिल्कुल सर।
Let us start.
Okay, thank you, sir. A warm welcome to all of you. We are extremely honored to have Shri Purushottam Rupalaji with us, Honorable Ministers of ARD Fisheries, Government of India. So with the permission of Honorable Minister and the Chief Guest for the day, we would like to start. As per the program, I think we will first start with a moment of silence in the remembrance of late Mr. Sharad Gupta, editor and publisher of Dairy India Yearbook, for his untimely demise and for the contribution he made to the dairy industry. May I request everybody to please observe a minute of silence. Thank you. With this, I would like to again extend a warm welcome to all our partners, speakers. You have just seen all the names on the screen of Prompt Equipment, Hindustan Thermostatic, Frick India, Still Apps Technologies, Everest, Mother Dairy, IDMC, Rajasthan Electronic and Instrument Limited, and our media partner, Air India. आज का जो कॉन्फ्रेंस है वो एक ऐसे समय पे हो रहा है जब पूरा भारतवर्ष आजादी के 75 वर्ष मना रहा है और अमृत महोत्सव की शुरुआत पिछले ही माह हुई। ऐसे समय पे एक डेयरी का कॉन्फ्रेंस जिसका एक शुरुआत गुजरात से हुआ और हम लोगों के लिए सौभाग्य की बात है कि गुजरात से हमारे माननीय मंत्री जी हमारे साथ हैं। तो ज्यादा समय ना लेते हुए मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा आईसीसी के सीनियर वाइस प्रेसिडेंट प्रदीप सुरेखा जी से टू प्लीज डिलीवर द वेलकम एड्रेस। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Rajiv. Namaskar, sabko, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to our honorable guests, experts, speakers, and participants to the e-conference titled Innovations and Advancements in the Indian Dairy Industry. This virtual event has participants from across the country, and we have today with us experts who will speak and speakers from various reputed institutions and organizations. Before we start our today's session, I would first like to extend a very warm welcome to our chief guest, Shri Purushottam Rupalaji, Honorable Minister of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Government of India. Sir, it was a privilege to meet you during a recent ICC event in Delhi and get a glimpse of your knowledge and insights of this industry. It is a huge honor to have you amongst us today, and we look forward to your sharing your knowledge and experience with us. My heartiest welcome goes to Mr. Minash Shah, Chairman, National Dairy Development Board, and Ms. Varsha Joshi, IS, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Government of India. I would also like to express my great pleasure in welcoming other dignitaries and distinguished speakers who have very kindly consented to participate and share their thoughts and experiences. In India, the association and affinity to milk and milk products is deeply embedded in our culture and ethos. I would like to share some data with you. Dairy is probably the largest single agri-commodity with a 4% share in economy. We are the largest producer of milk globally with 188 million metric ton production in 1920, expected to increase to 270 million tons by 2025. It is a significant contributor to farmers' income with approximately 70 million farmers directly involved in dairy. Dairy is the only agri-product in which around 70 to 80% final market value is shared with farmers, and it accounts for approximately 1/3 of rural household income in India. With private dairy enterprises accounting for more than 60% of dairy processing capacity in the country, the dairy industry has grown at 12% during last 5 years, with value-added products driving market growth. With such a base, the potential for growth is enormous. India's dairy sector can promote entrepreneurship, ensure optimal value capture of value produced, lead towards doubling farmers' income, and carrying national brands globally. We have the capability to put ourselves in a position that sees us not only meeting our internal requirements, but also becoming a significant player in the export market, not just to LDCs, but also to the developed countries as well. Our domestic demand provides the base for this growth, and by achieving international quality at competitive prices, we can truly become a global player. However, this will need us to significantly raise the standards of our product quality, packaging, and storage, as well as improve milk productivity and benchmark ourselves with developed countries like Australia, New Zealand, who are the leaders in this area. We already have a successful model of milk collection and processing through the cooperative movement, which I'm sure is being other states are trying to replicate. I mean, I'm talking about Amul and Gujarat. I mean, they have led the way of the cooperative movement. And I'm sure the ministry and various state governments would take up, and if they have not taken up, they can take up this model and create a similar model which has been so successfully implemented in Gujarat, rather from Gujarat. With this background, ICC strongly feels that in an inclusive growth strategy with a holistic end-to-end plan broken down into short, medium, and long-term goals to reach the best international benchmarks can truly be put India on the top of the World Dairy Plan, where we could start getting more FTA arrangements with various developed countries, which I believe is a bit of a challenge at the moment. So I'm sure with a person like Rupala ji at the helm of this ministry, and having heard him, we can go take leaps and bounds and become an international player in this particular market. So we look forward to the insights and suggestions from our Honorable Minister and the dignitaries participating in this discussion to suggest a roadmap where we become world leaders and, as our Prime Minister says, Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you. Thank you to everybody.
Mr. Sureka, thank you. I would also like to acknowledge the support of Ministry of Fisheries, ARD, Food Processing, NDDB, NCDFI, and NCDC to this conference. We would now move on to our next speaker. May I request Mr. Rajkumar Malik, President, IDMC Limited, to please address us. Mr. Malik.
Thank you, Dr. Singh. Honorable Minister for Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Shri Purushottam Rupala ji, Honorable Joint Secretary for Cattle and Dairying, Madam Varsha Joshi ji, Honorable Chairman, NDDB, Shri Minesh Shah ji, Managing Director, GCMMF, Shri Sodhi Sahab, and my dear colleagues. We all must be very proud that India is on the fast track of innovations, keeping in mind the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister to be Atmanirbhar. Based on the vision, there have been several technological interventions done in dairy operations as well. I'm here to discuss about a few important amongst these. We'll start with the milk procurement, automatic milk measurement and sampling system. Right now, the milk which is collected from the village dairy cooperative societies, the system being followed is the tanker goes to the village. The milk quantity is measured using the dipstick in the bulk milk cooler, and measurement with the dipstick, we must be agreeing that it may not be accurate, as it depends on positioning and calibration of the dipstick. So the chances of human error are there. Further, the milk sample which is collected, it has all the after agitation of milk, there are chances that the agitation would not be sufficient, and there could be some malpractices of tampering of samples. To take care of this, there was a need to have a fully automatic milk measurement and sampling system for the dairies. We have come out with that. The system basically measures the quantity of milk automatically. It collects the sample of milk online without any manual intervention. Like one tanker will go to around 6 to 7 cooperative societies where the bulk milk coolers are there. It will collect the sample of each society online, as well as part of the sample would go into as a composite sample for the tanker. This will basically eliminate total manual intervention. The sample would be tamper-proof. There would be a magnetic flow meter, which will record the quantity, which will be bidirectional while loading the milk into the tanker as well as unloading the tanker into the dairy. The quantity would be recorded. There would be air eliminator so that the readings which are there, they are accurate, and the system is fully CIP-able. As we can see the system, the milk, the discharge of the milk pump is connected here, where we have an inline strainer, and it goes to the magnetic flow meter. The quantity of milk is measured, and these are the peristatic pumps. Proportionately, the milk is taken into the vials. These are the sample vials, and around 60 ml from each bulk cooler. This is selected randomly based on the RFID position, and then which is decided by the HMI provided here, and the milk goes into the tanker. These are the units which have been installed at Amul Dairy in Anand and working successfully. Second point would be RFID, digital dairy, having RFID system inside the dairy, which shall be useful for milk transportation management inside the dairy plants. By tagging all the vehicles and monitoring their movement for efficient time utilization, as well as ensuring all the functions are performed efficiently inside the dairy, as well as for future traceability. This would involve RFID registration first, then RFID system at tanker security cell office would authenticate and verify the RFID tags. The RFID at the weighbridge would be used for gross weight as well as air weight of the tankers. The RFID at reception would be used for automated vehicle identification and capturing the image of valve connections as well as front view of the tanker. The RFID system at CIP bay would capture the image of the tanker and would record the time, how much time the CIP has been done. This will help in monitoring whether the tanker has been cleaned properly and how much time it has been there at the CIP bay for cleaning. So these are the systems RFID, boom barrier, everything would be there. The capturing would be there at the first is registration, at Tanker Security Cell, at Weighbridge, at Reception Bay, at CIP Bay, and at a Dispatch Bay. So this is the latest system. Like some the dairies, one or two dairies have started putting it in the place, and that will be very useful. Then we'll talk about partial homogenization. The name partial, because it is like we will be like what is done is basically instead of homogenizing the entire milk flowing through the milk processing line, the partial stream of total fat in concentrated form having a fat content of 15 to 18% is homogenized and is remixed with the skim milk for further processing. This is the raw milk at 4 degrees centigrade. There's a milk processing module of 30,000 liters per hour. If you see, the milk is coming at 4 degrees centigrade, goes to a regeneration section, goes to the gets heated to 55 degrees centigrade, goes to cream separator, separates into skim milk and cream, which both the streams go to the auto standardization unit. The excess cream goes out to cream chiller for further processing. By remaining cream, which is required to be added into the milk for standardization, goes forward, and part of the skim milk gets mixed into this so that we have a low fat cream or a high fat milk going to the homogenizer at 55 degrees centigrade. So a processing line of 30,000 liters per hour would require a 10,000 liters per hour homogenizer. That is 1/3 the capacity of the processing line. This homogenized, high-fat homogenized milk will further go and gets mixed with the excess skim milk, which is coming out and goes for further processing. Homogenization efficiency in this case is 90% minimum, which is the same as if the entire milk is homogenized. But at the same time, we have a saving of power of up to rupees 40 per 1,000 liters of milk homogenized, which works out to a quite huge amount of rupees 70 lakhs per year for a 5 lakh liters per day milk processing. There is no doubt a saving in capital cost. If we talk about 30 kLPH milk processing line, there would be a saving of around 70 lakh rupees because the capacity of homogenizer required is 1/3 the capacity of processing line. And obviously there will be a saving in cost of spares and maintenance as the capacity of the homogenizer would be quite low. Then we have a continuous Khoa making machine. Like pandemic, Khoa is one of the major product which is being consumed and it is being manufactured by the mostly unorganized sector. So there is definitely a need that we come out with the mechanized manufacture of Khoa. So a Khoa making machine, continuous Khoa making machine with enhanced capacity of up to 200 kgs per hour with advanced technology and has been developed as per the design from NDDB. The is and Khoa, which is produced as total solids of 68 to 70%, and it is possible to make all the 3 varieties of Khoa, that is Danedar, Pindi, and Daab. These are the actual pictures of Khoa which is produced, and the leading brand Amul, the Khoa manufactured by the leading brand is through this machine only. Manufacturing line for this low-fat butter or butter with additives. This is going to be another one good product. Normal table butter, if you know that table butter has got a fat content of 80%. It is possible to manufacture butter with a fat content of up to 60% or even lower, because this will be useful for the people who are health conscious, who like the taste of butter, but still they don't consume because of high calories. So by reducing the fat content, it is possible to make butter. And the machines which would be required would be like a continuous butter making machine with specific features, which will have an attachment for dosing starter culture as well. Dosing of emulsifier, because the fat content would go down, the emulsifier solutions would be required to be dosed. Emulsifier mixed in the ghee heated to around 70 degrees centigrade would be dosed. And then we have salt and color dosing. A butter pump would be there and a special machine for texturizing it. like we have butter texturizer. Same line can be used this would be basically good for delegates who are joined from FMCG group. Normally we go to the hotels, we apply butter separately and jam on bread. A combination of butter plus jam or a butter plus honey would be a very good option, which could be thought of developing this. With this machine, it is possible to make this. Further, like desi butter, in villages we used to have desi butter. It is possible to make lactic butter by adding starter culture, dosing starter culture into the butter, so that we have that some sour taste. Further, for addition of dry ingredients like herbs or bigger salt particles, a special mixer would be required to be added in the line, which is also possible. This would be a manufacturing line. Then we have a multi-product UST sterilizers. The UST sterilizers, as we know, they were brought into the country by the National Dairy Development Board in late 80s. After that, several UST plants have been installed, but there was a need to develop a UST sterilizer of specific for the Indian Indian products. We have come up with a product, the UST sterilizer, which would be, I would say, I can proudly say that that is the first in the world, which has got the holding, I say and I mean it, which has got the holding of up to 30 minutes. Normally the UST sterilizers, they have the holding of up to 4 seconds. So this UST sterilizer has got a holding of up to 30 minutes. So it can be used for, it is being used rather for processing several products in addition to plain milk, like chocolate milk, which requires heating at around 95 degrees centigrade for 20 minutes for killing of, for converting the spores into vegetative cells, and then further killing the vegetative bacteria from cocoa beans. Then kadai doodh at 30 minutes holding at around 121 degrees centigrade. The white milk with sugar would get converted into the color would change due to caramelization, it would change to brown, and then it is packed. Milkshakes, thick milkshakes, flavored milk with particulates, like some pieces, nata de coco or any other pieces which are required, they can be added in this sterilizer if required, and obviously lassi can also be processed. Then we have a automatic and continuous paneer manufacturing line. Paneer in India basically generally is made like coagulating milk with the heating milk and coagulating in a bigger paneer vat of around 1000 liters or 2000 liters. So once we coagulate the milk, it will, the first curd which comes out will not have same texture as the last piece of curd which comes out, because it will have a more retention time. Hence, there's a need that we coagulate a specific amount of milk, a small quantity of milk, which is corresponding to one block of paneer. So small basin system, milk is coagulated in small basins, and quantity of milk is in one basin corresponding to quantity of paneer in one mold. Each paneer block would have a uniform weight, uniform texture, which is very much desirable for packing, and there would not be any losses in cutting. And quality of paneer, you can see that it is quite good. It has got a better frying capabilities also. A cold concentration of milk, concentrating the milk while it is chilled to a concentration of through RO membranes up to a concentration of 26%. This is performed when the milk is at around 8 to 10 degrees centigrade. Since the milk is not heated, the nutritive and organoleptic quality of the milk natural is retained, and this is beneficial for long distance transportation of milk, as the transportation cost gets reduced by more than even 50%. And the systems, I can say that the largest system is working in the largest dairy in Asia, having a capacity of 60,000 liters, from where the milk from Gujarat is transported to the northern part of the country. Further, it is also useful for standardization of milk by boosting the SNF content instead of adding skim milk powder to maintain the taste. We remove the part of the moisture water from the milk by partly concentrating it and mixing it in the milk, the market milk, which it will have a very good taste. Refrigeration, there have been some good, there are installations of falling film chillers and ice silos. Falling film chillers are basically a pack of laser welded pillow plates which are mounted on the basin, and ammonia flows into this laser welded jacket, and the return chill water which is coming from the plant falls from the top, and the evaporation temperature of ammonia is -2 degrees centigrade. It has got a cost of refrigeration is quite low and the capacity is quite high because we are evaporating at -2 degrees centigrade, and it is possible to get the chill water for sending into the plant at around up to 0.5 degrees centigrade. There is no chance of choking. There is an option of this falling film chiller to have a plate type ammonia chiller, semi-welded plate type ammonia chiller. But then since it's a closed plate pack, there are frequent problems of choking if the controls are not in place. Ice silos, these have been used since many years, but they are the most efficient in terms of like heat transfer and thermal storage. The evaporation temperature, they are basically stainless steel coils enclosed in the stainless steel vertical silo, which are identical from outside. They are identical to the milk silos. The evaporation temperature of ammonia is -5 degrees centigrade. The cost of ice building in comparison to ice is quite low, and the operating cost is also very less. Thermal storage can be done, like these can be installed for thermal storage for during non-peak hours, like during night. We see that most of the states, they have differential power tariffs. Like in the night, the power tariff is around 25% lower. So it is much beneficial if we build the ice during night for consumption of the same during the day. And one of the most important points is the quality of water is very good, because in IBT, the coils are of GI. So on long term, basically the rusting would happen. And the water goes to the jackets of various equipment in the dairy. So that may spoil, they get deposited, and the efficiency, heat transfer efficiency gets reduced. So quality of water is good. So that there will not be any problem in jackets of any of the vessels.
If you could keep it short, please.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay,
thank you so much. This was my, thank you so much for patient hearing.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Malik. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We would now go to our next speaker, Dr. Prakash Kalarikal, representing ST Genetics from USA. May I request you to address, please?
Hello, hi.
Yeah. Yes, please. Please go ahead.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so Honorable Minister, respected panelists, other dignitaries and guests, thank you for the opportunity to present about sexing technologies here. Welcome to ST Genetics India. So we'll talk about sex-sorted cement, the technology, and how this technology can revolutionize the dairy farming today, very briefly. So sexing technology is the pioneer in sperm sorting technology, genetics, and reproduction. And we are a very global company based in the US. And we also have our branch started in India. It's called ST Genetics India. So originally, sexing technology is a service provider for sex sorting of sperm. And we also own the patents or the licensing for doing this process. And we also have a huge division where we have almost 1,000 bulls, and we sell semen all over the world. We have branches in different countries, UK, Italy, Brazil, Australia, New Zealand, including India. And very importantly, we have another company called Genetic Visions, which is doing genomic testing, which has a great importance in Indian perspective as well. We have an embryo production facility in the US, around 2,000 heifers. And we also produce the sex sorting machines. And we also have a pig breeding division based in Canada. So what we do, generally, we provide sex sorting service to almost all the major AI companies in the world. And then we can sex sort semen from all different breeds of cattle and buffaloes, sheep, goat, pigs, all the different species. We have 30 labs worldwide and 10 labs in the US and 20 labs in other countries. And very importantly, we have 3 labs in India, which is thankfully under the Rashtriya Gogul Mission, Government of India, which is working fantastically well. We produced over 150 million doses of sex-sorted semen globally as of now. And we produce almost 1.3 million doses of semen in India. And we work with our partners, BIFE, ULDB, and Madhya Pradesh Livestock Development Board in India. So we have our company, which is called Inguran Sorting Technologies. We also have several patents registered in India, and we have 3 labs. The BIFE is working since 2018. ULDB Uttarakhand started in March 2019, and then Madhya Pradesh started in March 2021 this year. Even during the COVID lockdown, we started the lab in Madhya Pradesh. So this is the lab BIFE in Pune. This is the inside of the lab. I'll go quickly. So this is a lab in ULDB Rishikesh. These are all state-of-the-art labs. This is again the inside of the lab at Rishikesh. This is the latest lab in MP, Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal. Again, inside of the lab. And this is a very 1-minute video about the lab. You can see that. So that is a very modern state-of-the-art laboratory we have in India, probably one of the best labs ever we built anywhere in the world with all the modern facilities. By the way, all the labs are identical on technology. So there are 2 things. We talk about revolution today. There are 2 major innovations revolutionized the dairy industry. This around 15, 17 years ago. And the first one was sex sorting of semen. So by inventing sex sorting of semen back in early 2000, when the company Sexing Technology was formed, we were able to produce more than 90% female cows. And then the second revolution took place almost at the same time was genomic testing. So genomic testing basically allows you to find the best animal from a larger population, and sex sorting allows you to produce more female, at least 90% female from those superior bulls. So there are 2 benefits. One is the superior genetics will be transmitted to more number of females, more than 90% females. And equally importantly, the superior genetics will not be wasted through unwanted male calves. Otherwise, normally there will be 50% male calves born from a normal conventional semen. So this together, sex sorting of semen plus genomic testing has revolutionized the dairy industry around 15 years ago. And I also understood from one of the recent webinars conducted by NDDB that there is a lot of work going on genomic testing. And we also have a division. We are one of the 3 authorized genomic testing companies in the US. And we probably also can cooperate with our partners in India, and we can contribute our technology as well for improving the genomic testing in India as well. So that will be a combination of sex sorting as well as genomic testing together. We can work in India. So just to give you a very brief idea, there are 2 types of male and female sperms, but actually they are all identical. There is no difference in size, shape, weight, or electrical charge of female or male chromosome-bearing sperms. So the only difference is the female chromosome-bearing, X chromosome-bearing sperms is larger the DNA content of the F chromosome bearing sperm is larger than that of Y, and the difference is around 4%. So what we do in technology, we look at the size of the DNA content through a fluorescent light and then identify them and separate them. So I will show you an animated video of the sex sorting process. So what the technology does, just to summarize what you saw, when you get a raw ejaculate, we use a specialized media, which is also patented. We remove the dead and dying sperms from the ejaculate. And then each sperm is treated in a fluid sheet. So each sperm is protected. And it goes through the nozzle, as you have seen in the video. And the fluorescent light comes and look at the size of the DNA content, and it separates and removes them. So the dead sperms are removed before sorting. And then during sorting, the dead sperms as well as the unwanted Y sperms are removed without killing. So the problem, one of the problem in normal conventional semen is the presence of dead sperms and debris. So because in our technology, we remove the dead sperms and dying sperms and also the unwanted male sperms without killing. Therefore, the final product is completely with the live sperms. That increases the conception rate and viability of sperms and conception rate. And we also control the pH, the temperature, then we reduce the oxidation. So the sperms are more active and viable when it comes to the final product. And then the purity and all the QC are tested in our centralized laboratory in the US. From all over the world, it's always confirmed from the US and before we release to their customers. So we ensure the quality on every single straw of semen produced globally, that including in India. So it is a sex ultra, we call it as a patent name. It is a procedure, it's a new procedure, several equipments, it's a temperature control system, stain optimization, different extenders, and then control of pH and oxidation, and also importantly, dead cell removal. So we do all the species of animals. In India, we are doing all the indigenous cattle, crossbred, Jersey, buffalo, all different breeds of buffalo. We are doing extremely successfully in India. So how do we look at the quality of the product? There are three ways to look at it. One is the laboratory result, which is the purity and the QC quality parameters, and then the conception rate in the field, and finally, ultimately, the gender of the calves born, which needs to be more than 90%. So this is a summary of the sex autism produced until April this year. And then this is 1.29, almost 1.3 million doses. And the quality, I just circled around here, the average quality is extremely higher than the standard. For example, the 0-hour progressive mortality needs to be minimum 50%, and we are doing 62%. And 3-hour progressive motility need to be minimum 30%, and we are doing 56. That is 26% above the requirement. And the acrosome integrity need to be 50, we are doing 76. And then the female purity, which is need to be minimum 90, and we are doing 93.5. So we are exceeding all the international standards on the quality. And then, so this is a comparison of what I just told you. So this is to show you the motility. This is a Buffalo sex-sorted semen on a CASA. CASA is a computer-assisted semen analysis. And you can see the motility of a Murrah Buffalo semen. You can see the motility of the sperms, and you don't see many dead sperm. There is only 1 or 2 dead sperms. So it is completely live sperms, viable sperms. This is from a naked eye microscope. And then if you look at the same on CASA, you can see the result is 65+%. So this is showing the quality of the product in the laboratory. And then this is again measuring the purity of the product. The female purity, we're talking, this is a Gir semen, sex-sorted semen, and 93.8% female. The blue peak on the right side is female X sperms. And this is a Murrah Buffalo, again, the similar Jersey. I just put few samples to show you different breeds and buffaloes. So we have also tested the purity on the laboratory and compared with the field result, around 9,000 cases. We followed the bull produced sex semen, looked at the purity in the laboratory and followed in the field and verified the validated on the field. And the result is plus or minus 1%. So for example, if you're doing 93% purity in India, you will have a chance to have 94 or 92% female calves in the field. And that is already proven in India. So this is a result from BIF and ULDB. So here they used 28,796 inseminations, of which 6,157 checked, and 2,715 were pregnant, which is 44% conception rate. And then on an average, the conception rate in India, for people to understand who is not familiar with this, the conception average in India is around 35%. So we are doing almost 10% more than the normal average conception rate in India. And then the female ratio, female calf is 94.2%. And this is similar result. This is not a conducted study. This is a real result from the field. And similar numbers can be seen. The conception rate is 45.4%, and the females were 94.5%. So the results are completely validated. The laboratory results are also validated in the field. So what is the benefit of it? Just to summarize. So when we use sex-sorted semen, you guarantee that we have more than 90% females. That is an international standard. But we are doing almost more than 93% in India. That is very special. Then, like I said, NDDB is doing a lot of bull selection, or BIF for all the semen stations are doing bull selection. And you buy a high quality bull, you select them by genomic testing, but then you produce conventional semen, 50% become male. So what there's no use. And the other nuisance from the male as well on the street. So instead of converting that 50% male wastage, you convert that superior genetics into females. So the genetic progress is faster. And then suppose a farmer wants to increase his herd number. You want to buy 2 cows or 2 heifer. Where does he go? He go to a village or somewhere else. And he doesn't know what is the disease status of that farm, of the animal. So he brings diseases to his farm without knowing. So if you are growing by yourself within your farm using sex-sorted semen, you can avoid the risk of biosecurity.
So
and then there is also
short of time. If you could please.
Yeah. Okay, so you can reduce that biosecurity issue. And then there is a female, when the female calves are born, the calving is easier because calves are smaller than compared to the male calves. So that will reduce the dystocia and related problems. And of course, you can reduce the number of male calves. So if I have a few more minutes, I can show you some testimonial video. Is that okay?
If you could skip it, please, because we are running short of time.
Okay, that's fine.
Because videos don't have sound, so I mean it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then it's done.
Okay, thank you. I still remember जब हम लोगों का मीटिंग हुआ माननीय मंत्री जी के साथ, तो ऑनरेबल मिनिस्टर ने हम लोगों को दो बातें बोली थी। माननीय मंत्री ने कहा था कि टेक्नोलॉजी हम लोग जो भी करते हैं उसका दो इंपॉर्टेंट फोकस हम लोगों को चाहिए। एक तो है मिल्क का क्वालिटी और दूसरा बात ये है हाई यील्ड। आई थिंक टेक्नोलॉजी कैन प्ले अ बिग रोल. Honorable Minister already understands the importance, and that's these two things. We will move on to our next speaker. I would request Dr. Sudhindra Tati, CEO Prompt Innovations, to please address us. Dr. Tati.
Yes.
And I would also
Yes,
request you if you could please keep to the time.
Absolutely. I'll stick to the 15-minute deadline. Yes. Namaskar, Mananiya Mantri ji, distinguished guests and fellow panelists and attendees. What if I told you that we can feed up to 2 crore children per day in our country if we eliminate the milk wastage or spoilage of milk that is happening per day in our country? Yes, that's the shocking number. More than 40 to 50 lakh liters of milk is wasted every day due to spoilage. So that is certainly one area of improvement that we can work on as a dairy industry. The second important thing is just a minute ago, there was a reference made to the comment by Ms. Minister that our area of focus should be on quality. So the second area where we need a lot of improvement and where we have a long way to go is in terms of quality. So there's a growing awareness, fortunately, and motivation to improve the quality of raw milk. And I'll be touching on one of the innovations that may enable that aspect. Now I'd like to focus on this classic graph of bacterial count versus time. While this is very well known, I would like to repeat it because it forms the core essence of the why and the what of our innovation. At time 0, you can see that the milk coming out of the udder of cattle in India is as high a quality as anywhere in the world. Now, in the West, when the quality is maintained due to an end-to-end cold chain solution, in India, the quality of milk starts to deteriorate with the journey of milk. And as you can see that the bacteria, which is the root cause of the spoilage of the milk, grows exponentially with time. Now, this graph also shows that the growth is also a very strong function of temperature. And so what this graph is showing is that not only is that chilling important, but it is also important to see where or when and how early do you want to chill it. And what this graph is pointing out is that the ideal point is, of course, the source. However, in the Indian context, there are some challenges. Namely, in our case, the source means very small volumes produced by smallholder dairy farmers spread across very large distances. The journey of milk happens under harsh conditions. And of course, there may be a lack of reliable electrical supply in rural environments. Now, this graph points out that the importance of the early start in the journey is important. And even a 2-hour delay in chilling can influence the pH and lactose content. And it can also cause almost a 2-fold rise in the microbiological content, which all has a huge impact on the shelf life of the dairy products. Now, with the recently concluded Olympics, probably, images are very fresh in everybody's mind about the various sports. But for me, one of my favorite events are the relay races. The reason is because in addition to the individual brilliance and skills of the people, relay race is also a team sport. And you might be wondering, what does a relay race have to do with the topic of discussion here. And it certainly has a relationship because we see staggering similarities between the journey of milk from the farm to the processing center in terms of quality. And it's very similar to race in the sense that it teaches us about the importance of an early start. Well begun is half done, as they say. While you cannot win races just by a start, but certainly it gives you an edge and it gives you a solid foundation on quality. So let me elaborate that with some example of some real trials that we conducted. And this is a representative graph of MBRT with the time during the journey of milk. Here, remember that the time 0 for us is not from the milking time, but from the collection center, the time at collection center. So there's already 60 to 90 minutes that have elapsed before this. What it shows is that even the initial value, whatever it is, whether it is 90, it drops significantly, and within a span of 2 hours, the MBRT values are to the tune where it's almost on the verge of spoilage. On the other hand, if I had chilled the milk at the collection center, then I extend that shelf life significantly, and I improve the MBRT values. But mind you that this is still chilled milk, but the can is uninsulated and it is open to ambient. This green curve would shift further up if my can were insulated and I had more protection of that chilled milk. Now, if I take some sample values on this graph, and if I take 90 minutes, for example, as a reference point of MBRT, then I can see that I am actually buying or increasing the shelf life by anywhere from 120 minutes to 150 minutes, depending on which point I take. Now, the importance of a self-start or a very strong foundation start is here. I can explain by saying that suppose the cluster BMC were 1 hour away from the villages, let us say. In that case, at the 60 minutes mark, if you see, if the raw milk, if I were to put it in a BMC, then I would maintain the quality of milk at that level, which is actually already low at 55 minutes MBRT. However, if the chilled milk were to now be put into the BMC, then obviously the MBRT levels would be much higher and you would maintain that higher quality. So this is a very significant impact on the head start, and this explains the why part of it. And the questions that we have are, what if there was a solution to provide a head start of few additional hours? What if we could help to increase the shelf life through a simple technological intervention? Or what if this solution would ease the burden on the subsequent stages of the journey? So that brings us to the what part of the product. And we at Prompt Innovations, which is a company based in Ahmedabad, we developed an instant milk chiller with thermal storage. The product is known as MilkoChill. And as the photograph shows, there are 4 key components. The box number 1 is the cooling unit, which serves 2 purposes. One is the thermal storage itself, as well as the patented heat exchanger through which the milk flows and the cold milk is generated. The box number 2 at the bottom is a heat recovery unit. We use patented multi-utility heat pump and we extract 2 utilities simultaneously. We generate cold milk on one hand and hot water simultaneously on the other hand, which is extremely useful for CIP as well as for sanitation. The refrigeration unit is number 3, and number 4 is the control panel, which puts it all together, monitors and controls and measures all the key parameters such as the charging status or outlet temperature and so forth. The system is extremely compact. It is the footprint required is hardly 6 feet by 3 feet. It fits into nice small rooms of the villages. The capacity of the chilling is 500 liters per day, split into 250 liters in 2 shifts, morning and evening. However, you don't have to wait for that entire 250 liters to show up. As and when the milk comes in small volumes, you can start pouring. For example, if a 40-liter can were to arrive, you would pour it into the funnel at the top, which would flow through this cooling unit through gravity, and it will come out as cold milk at the bottom in about 10 minutes. This translates to a cooling rate of 250 liters per hour, which is why it's known as an instant milk chiller. And the average temperature of the entire batch of 250 liters would be 7 degrees. The hot water that is generated is used for the CIP process. We realize that CIP is an extremely integral part of any chilling process. So we not only incorporated the 3-step industry standard process of CIP, but we have also automated this whole CIP process. This technology has been licensed and jointly developed with IIT Bombay. And the combination of the technical benefits as well as the product design makes it a very unique differentiated product. Now, in addition to the technical benefits of instant chilling, thermal battery, waste heat recovery, I will just elaborate on the thermal battery part, the way it works and the benefit. Just a few minutes ago, somebody mentioned about differential tariff of energy charging, and that could be an additional benefit here. Because in our case, when electricity is available, for example, at night, we would charge up the system, which will store cold energy, and you do not need to depend on electricity at the time of chilling. So this eliminates the dependence on gensets or any other expensive alternate power supplies. The peak power requirement of our product is only less than 1 kilowatt, which allows us to integrate it with solar power. The whole system is very compact, modular, easy to use, simple to operate, and also scalable. And so we can further scale it down to smaller volumes depending on the requirements in the villages to go further downstream. Now, this product actually has been declared as one of the winners of the UNIDO project under the Facility for Low Carbon Technology Development. And we'll be soon doing demonstrations with key partners on this particular next version of the product. The potential points where we see this Milkochill could be applicable, obviously the small milk collection centers across the country. As we understand, the small milk collection centers are right now, they are at 4.4 lakhs, going towards 5.5 lakhs. And the number of BMCs is less than a lakh. And small milk collection centers which have procurements of about 400-500 liters per day would benefit a lot by having this Milkochill as a early stage arresting of the bacterial growth, so that it can make it easier for the next stages of the BMC and the dairy processing. The more than 96 million farmers across the country, most of them are small dairy holders, but there is a growing trend of farmers who are generating about 500 liters per day. And there is one interesting development of the segment known as the farm to home, or the direct to consumer segment as they call it, who are selling fresh milk like these fancy bottles and organic farm fresh milk to the customers, sometimes mistakenly labeling them as A2 milk as well. However, all these farms would benefit a lot from a chilling at source and improving the shelf life and the quality.
Yeah, if you
The
could
private
wind up,
dairies,
please, because
yes,
time
the
is
next
short.
slide is the summary slide. And in addition, the unorganized sector, which runs more than half of the milk procurement in the country. The economic benefits are the souring and the reduced energy costs, and sometimes even the milk price realization and the wider outreach. To summarize, Milkochill is an innovative, viable, Atmanirbhar, and most importantly, a complementary alternative to the existing chilling solutions. So going back to the metaphor of relay race, can we strengthen the first leg of the race and reduce the burden on the subsequent legs? And also, in addition to the quality, we can also make a huge socio-economic impact through increased farmers' income. So thank you very much for the time. And this is from Prompt Equipment. Thank you.
Dr. Sudhindra, thank you. Next, I would request our honorable chief guest, Mr. Shah. Honorable Minister has to leave, so we have to shuffle the order. So if you don't mind, I will request Honorable Minister Shri Purushottam Rupala ji to please address us. Host, if you can please unmute Honorable Minister's. Yes, please.
जी नमस्ते
Namaste, sir.
जी, राम राम सभी को मेरा राम राम। एक ई कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑन इनोवेटिव एंड एडवांसमेंट इन द इंडियन डेयरी इंडस्ट्रीज, आईसीसी ने ये बहुत ही एक अच्छा कार्यक्रम लिया। इसके लिए मैं चैम्बर को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूं और मैं आपका आभारी भी हूं कि आपने हमको भी आपके साथ बातचीत करने का अवसर भी दिया। और मेरा सौभाग्य होता कि जितने लोगों को मैंने सुना, बहुत ही अच्छी टेक्नोलॉजी का हमको जानकारी मिला और भी आगे बहुत ही प्रोमिनेंट स्पीकर्स आपके साथ जुड़ने वाले हैं। सो आई विश ऑल द ग्रैंड सक्सेस टू दिस कॉन्फ्रेंस। मैं सिर्फ आपको ये बताना चाहता हूं, वर्तमान समय में हम डेवलपमेंट की, विकास की और गति की अपेक्षा जिन क्षेत्रों में रख सकते हैं, उनमें एक सबसे बड़ा क्षेत्र जो है वो ये डेयरी सेक्टर है। उसी के जरिए हम देश के अर्थतंत्र को और भी मजबूती देने का प्रयास कर सकते हैं। ये बात सही है कि सरदार साहब ने ये सपना संजोया था। कभी जॉनसन की मोनोपोली के सामने उन्होंने खेड़ा में सत्याग्रह करके एक कोऑपरेटिव का मॉडल खड़ा करने के लिए मुरारजी भाई को वहां भेजे थे। वहां से ये कथा शुरू होती है जो आज अमूल द टेस्ट ऑफ इंडिया के नाम से हम सब जिसका गर्व कर सकते हैं। उसके बाद श्रीमान लाल बहादुर शास्त्री जी के पुण्य प्रताप से ये एनडीडीबी का सर्जन हुआ और जिन्होंने भी आगे चल के इस देश में इस कोऑपरेटिव सेक्टर को और ये मिल्क के सेक्टर को ऑर्गेनाइज करने का एक बहुत बड़ा प्रयत्न किया है और आगे भी ये यात्रा शुरू रहेगी। अभी जो हमें हमारे सामने जो समय बहुत ही अच्छा है, बहुत ही बड़ा है, बहुत ही लाभदायी है, अमूल का जो मॉडल है, जो बेनिफिट को वापिस फार्मर्स तक या अपने सभासद तक पहुंचाने का जो आर्थिक मॉडल है, मैं मानता हूं कि दुनिया का सर्वोत्तम मॉडल है। तो उसी को कैसे हम और भी आगे बढ़ा सकते हैं वो हम सब देखते हैं। मगर हमारे सामने आज जो समस्याएं हैं ये, और आप सब जब इतने अच्छे टेक्नोक्रेट्स और इनोवेटर्स आज इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे हैं और कंसर्न लोग भी हैं, सो मैं उजागर करना चाहता हूं कि हमारी पर कैटल जो उत्पादकता है वो इंटरनेशनल मुकाबले में कम है। इससे हमारे छोटे पशुपालकों को उनको आय लेने में बड़ी कठिनाई होती है। वो 3 लीटर, 2 लीटर, 2.5 लीटर के एवरेज से उनको मिल रहा है। तो इंडिविजुअल अपने पशुओं में दूध की उत्पादकता कैसे बढ़े, जैसे वो सेक्स सॉर्टेड सीमेन के बारे में बता रहे थे डॉक्टर प्रकाश जी, तो बड़ी अच्छी बात है कि अब ये मेल काउ से हम फीमेल काउ के हिफर्स को अवतरण कराने में सक्सेस हो सकते हैं। ये बहुत ही अच्छी बात है। और उसमें भी ब्रीडिंग में अब इसको हम जल्द ही बड़ी मात्रा में इसकी कॉपी कैसे कर सकते हैं, मास स्केल ऊपर। अब इसको स्केल पे ले जाने की आवश्यकता है और 100% आईवी पे हमारे देश में ये काम हो जाए, उसी के दिशा में हम, इसमें भी हम टेक्नोलॉजी के प्रयास से कैसे सक्सेसफुल हो सकते हैं, ये भी एक हमारे सामने सोचने का, और पॉलिसी में कहीं आपको इसमें लगे कि ये इंटरवेंशन हमें देना चाहिए तो वो भी आप हमको बता सकते हैं। तो पूरे देश के किसानों को इंडिविजुअल पशु की दूध उत्पादकता में हम कैसे मददरूप हो सकते हैं। दूसरा, ये जो डिजीज के बारे में हमें गंभीरता से सोचने की आवश्यकता है और वो भी टेक्नोलॉजी से ही इसका छुटकारा हम पा सकते हैं। अभी वैक्सीनेशन का प्रोग्राम बहुत तेजी से हम चला रहे हैं, फिर भी इसको और भी तेजी लाने की आवश्यकता है और उसमें और भी मैन्युफैक्चरर्स को आने की संभावना है। जो ये डिजीज हमारे हैं FMD, आप सब जानते हैं, ये सब लोग, इनके 2 प्रकार के वैक्सीनेशन के बड़े प्रोग्राम हमारे यहाँ चल रहे हैं। उस वैक्सीनेशन के मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में यदि आप कोई टेक्नोक्रेट लोग या जो जिनकी लेबोरेटरीज हैं और जो लोग इसमें अच्छे जानकार हैं, उन लोगों को मैं आह्वान करता हूं कि आप इस क्षेत्र का भी स्टडी करें और इसमें बहुत बड़ी संभावनाएं हैं, क्योंकि हमारे देश का पॉपुलेशन भी बहुत बड़ा है और उसमें ये नियमित रूप में सालों तक इसका इस्तेमाल होने की संभावना है। तो एक इस वैक्सीनेशन के कार्यक्रम के बारे में एक दूसरा बहुत ही अच्छा, और हमारे सरकार ने इस बार इसमें एक निर्णय भी लिया है कि हम ब्रीडिंग फार्म को सहायता देने वाले हैं। तो ये हमारे NDDB वाले हैं, हमारे अमूल वाले हैं, हमारे मदर डेयरी वाले हैं, जो भी लोग अभी सब इसमें और भी स्टेक होल्डर्स जो भी है, उन सभी से मैं आह्वान करता हूं कि आप इस विषय में अपने जो क्लाइंट हैं, आपके जो सभासद हैं, जो 2 गाय वाले हैं, 5 गाय वाले हैं या 10 पशु वाले हैं, वो भैंस भी हो सकती है, इसमें कोई आपत्ति नहीं है, उनको अब 50 वाले या 100 वाले बनाने में कन्वर्ट करिए। वो उसको बड़ा बनाएंगे। अब उसकी आजीविका का साधन है वो तो है ही, उनके बदले उसको एंटरप्रेन्योर बना दो, उसको 50 गाय का मालिक बना दो, उसको 100 भैंस का मालिक बना दो। उसके लिए सरकारी सहायता उपलब्ध है अब, और उसमें हम 50% की आपको सहायता सब्सिडी के रूप में देने के लिए तैयार। लैंड को छोड़ के आप इसमें शेड और पशु खुद को भी, इसकी कॉस्ट भी हम इसमें, तो इसमें कैपिटल आपको 50% की सब्सिडी देने का भारत सरकार ने निर्णय लिया है। हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो किसानों की आय को दुगुनी करने का लक्ष्य रखा है, उसमें खेती के साथ साथ इस एलाइड सेक्टर से भी इनको मदद मिले, इसी दृष्टिकोण से ये योजनाएं इसके और हम ले जाना चाह रहे हैं। हमारे सामने देश के पशुओं को टैगिंग करने का एक बड़ा प्रोग्राम चल रहा है, वो भी टेक्नोलॉजी के माध्यम से हम इसमें कुछ और इंटरवेंशन अच्छे कर सकते हैं और इसको अच्छा साइंटिफिक बना सकते हैं, और इनमें और भी अच्छे इनपुट हमको मिल सके, ऐसी कोई बात भी यहाँ हो सकती है। तो ये टैगिंग का है, उत्पादकता का है और वैक्सीनेशन का है। इन चीजों को ध्यान में रखते हुए, और हमारी जो पॉलिसियां है ये आप सबके सामने हैं, जिनमें हम ब्रीडिंग फार्म को और भी बढ़ावा देने का लक्ष्य रख के हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। हम इन सारी चीजों में सरकारी सहायता देने का बहुत ही खुले मन से प्रयास भारत की सरकार ने किया है। आप सब इनके जानकार भी है, नहीं है तो हमारी साइट पे आकर आप इनकी जानकारी भी ले सकते हैं। हमारे अधिकारी भी इसमें शामिल हैं, तो ये वर्षा जी वगैरह आपको इसके विषय में डिटेल में भी जानकारी जरूर रखेंगे। आप चैम्बर के माध्यम से आप सब लोगों ने वर्तमान संजोगों में डेयरी सेक्टर का हमारे देश के अर्थतंत्र में क्या स्थान है और डेयरी इंडस्ट्रीज के माध्यम से भारत अंतरराष्ट्रीय मार्केटिंग में, अंतरराष्ट्रीय व्यापार में, अंतरराष्ट्रीय इंडस्ट्रियल क्षेत्र में ये एक अहम भूमिका निर्वहन करने की क्षमता भारत की है, इसको उजागर करने का इस प्लेटफॉर्म के माध्यम से आप सबको भी सहायता मिलेगी। हमें भी इसका गर्व है कि इस प्रकार की हमारी क्षमता है, इसको देश देखे। और जो भी लोग इसके साथ जुड़े हैं सभी को मेरी बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। आपका पुनः चैम्बर को मेरा आभार, सभी को मेरा राम राम। और मेरी एक छोटी सी विनती है कि सारे टेक्नोक्रेट्स के साथ आपकी जब ये कॉन्फ्रेंस समाप्त हो तो उनमें से सरकार के पक्ष में रखने वाले कुछ बिंदु हो तो उसकी जानकारी हमारे साथ आप अवश्य शेयर करेंगे। पुनश्च आप सबको मेरा नमस्कार, राम राम।
आदरणीय मंत्री जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। हम लोग आपको, जब आप गुजरात में कृषि मंत्री थे तब से आपको जानते हैं और आपकी सोच हमेशा बहुत ही बड़ी रही है और बहुत ही फॉरवर्ड लुकिंग आपके आइडियाज रहे हैं। और आज जो आपने बातें कही कि तकनीक का हम इस्तेमाल करें, उत्पादकता बढ़ाएं, और चाहे वो वैक्सीन हो, चाहे वो ब्रीडिंग हो, और ओवरऑल ऑब्जेक्टिव ये है कि एक किसान की आय दुगनी हो। और जब मार्केट बढ़ता है तो इंडस्ट्री का भी फायदा है और कंज्यूमर का भी फायदा है। ये तीनों ही इंपॉर्टेंट हैं और हमें पूरी पूरी आशा है कि आपका जो विजन है, जैसा कि आप देख रहे हैं ऑलरेडी करीब 520 इंडस्ट्री के लोग यहाँ पे मौजूद हैं और बहुत उत्साह है सभी में, क्योंकि सभी को आपसे बहुत बहुत आशा है और पूरी इंडस्ट्री आपको विजन को पूरा करने के लिए आपके साथ है। और जो भी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स इस मीटिंग से निकलकर हमारे पास आएंगे उन सबको हम कंपाइल करके आपके ऑफिस के साथ अवश्य शेयर जो है करेंगे।
जी धन्यवाद, नमस्ते।
धन्यवाद, धन्यवाद जी। अब इसके बाद मैं रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूंगा चेयरमैन ऑफ एनडीडीबी मिस्टर शाह, इफ यू कुड प्लीज एड्रेस अस।
Thank you, Dr. Rajiv. Respected Sri Parshottam Rupala ji, Honorable Minister for Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairy, Government of India. Ms. Varsha Joshi, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairy. Dr. Sodhi, Mr. Manish Banlish, Mr. Pradeep Sureka, Dr. Rajiv Singh, and all other distinguished speakers and participants of this webinar. It's my pleasure to be with with all of you in this webinar on innovations and advancements in the Indian dairy industry. As we all know, innovation is and will actually remain the key factor in the progress of social and economic development of any society. And the pace of innovation is what I think distinguishes a society from being a progressive or a stagnant one. If we see the close linkages between dairying and livelihood of millions of our dairy farmers in our country, application of innovations and advancements assume significant importance because each breakthrough or improvement or development, it will ultimately lead to better returns and also increase in income for our milk producers, as Honorable Minister highlighted and also Dr. Rajiv spoke about. Today, I think we are the world's largest milk producing nation with a share of almost 25% of global milk production. And dairy cooperatives across the country, NDDB, Government of India, and all these technological partners, they have played a significant role in applying a broad spectrum of innovations across the dairy value chain. So right from the milk procurement operations in the rural area to the sale of finished products to the consumers, I think that has led to a growth of dairy sector, at the current levels. With the growing middle class and more disposable income, I think the consumers are now seeking out healthy alternatives for the active lifestyle and a focus on natural ingredients. The opportunity for, if you see the future growth continues to be significant in our dairy industry, as even Honorable Minister also highlighted. and meeting the needs of smallest of milk producers and connecting them to these changing preferences of our consumers. I think that is the key to tap for this growth opportunity. We at NDDB, we are responding to this by bringing innovations and advancements in multiple aspects of dairy value chain, such as, I think, as Honorable Minister again spoke about the productivity enhancement initiatives, so that the productivity of our animal also increase. So being only the largest milk producer in the world is not enough. I think we have to be comparable in terms of the animal productivity. Milk processing, and in that also the I think the use of renewable energy. I think that is the area which needs a lot of innovations and applications. Application of ICT, again, the tagging of animals, and also development of some softwares, information technology is another area, I think, where we have a lot of things to innovate and apply, and ultimately the product development, value addition in the product development, and also the income diversification. I think more and more discussion is now happening how we can increase the farmers' income or double the farmers' income. So unless we see the income diversification by way of innovations, I think we will not be able to provide more income to our dairy farmers. So I will briefly touch upon these 4 or 5 areas which I told. Under the productivity enhancement, apart from the sex-sorted semen nicely explained by the expert from ST, I think to make dairying profitable, improving productivity of dairy animals remains a key focus area at NDDB. And our special emphasis is on the native breeds. And this would require increasing the animal genetic potential. So as everyone talked about, we started working on genetic improvement for enhancing the productivity of animal under the progeny testing and pedigree selection program. And we started selecting bulls for the sementation on high genetic merit bulls across the country. Use of DNA technology in terms of genomic selection has changed the way the bulls are now selected in developed nations, and it can accelerate the genetic progress of dairy animals in our country, because the progeny testing and pedigree selection programs only will not provide us that acceleration. So to tap this potential of genomic selection, NDDB has developed Indus chip for Indian cattle breeds and Buff chip for buffaloes. And as again, I think as Fellow has discussed that using this chip, large number of recorded females were genotyped to create a reference population, and that will allow us to estimate the genomic breeding value. Even at the very young age, the genomic breeding value of either a male calf or the female cow. Today, we are selecting bulls of Gir, Mura, even HF crossbreed or Jersey crossbreeds on the basis of this genomic breeding value. However, to increase the accuracy of estimation of breeding value, the performance recording of PT and PS needs to be continued to create wider reference population base. The another area where we are working is in vitro embryo production. Again, this was touched upon earlier also. It will help multiply the native cattle at a very faster rate. So NDDB, through our R&D and training center at Anand, we are helping in creating skilled manpower to scale up this initiative. Now we are happy to say that now Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairy, Government of India has recognized its significance, and recently they have approved accelerated breed improvement program under the Rashtriya Gokul Mission Yojana, where NDDB is the implementing agency, and it will help us to propagate high yielding bovines through transfer of bovine IVF embryos. And there is a provision of 5,000 rupees per pregnancy as an incentive to the farmer. So it's already available, and NDDB will pass on this benefit. On the one hand, we are working on all this, breeding thing for obtaining faster genomic gains. At the same time, we are also supporting the same by interventions with respect of nutrition of dairy animals, because you can't ignore that aspect. So crop residues, as you all know, form a very significant portion of ration for the dairy animals, and about 92 million tons of surplus crop residue is being burned every year in our country, because there is a paucity of time and also the cost constraints at the farmers level. So, we have now contemplated securing such crop residue from field for the benefit of dairy farmers. And we have demonstrated use of several types of mowers and pickup devices among farmers to secure these crop residues from the field and use them, for the nutrition of the animal. And a step towards it is the concept of total mix ration, TMR. They are the pellets for feeding the dairy animals. It helps in improving the milk productivity and also incorporates crop residues to the tune of about 15 to 30%, which will help us in minimizing the greenhouse gas footprint of milk production. Animal health is another aspect where Honorable Minister also highlighted the area where we need to work. And so we'll have to have cost-effective, efficacious, and easily implementable and also sustainable solutions for animal diseases impacting the income of our dairy farmers. And bovine mastitis, I think, is the main disease which causes severe economic loss to our dairy farmers. And NDDB has initiated a model for mastitis control program. It is focused on simple, cost-effective strategies that help control mastitis and improve the quality of milk. We are also working on the One Health model for control of bovine brucellosis, which is again, important component for controlling the disease of human also, because it's a zoonotic disease. Antimicrobial resistance is, I think, another area which has become a major concern because of indiscriminate use of antibiotics to treat animals. And we are now promoting veterinary medicines so that while treating the animals, the less antibiotic usage, and thereby you can reduce the antimicrobial resistance. Another area, I think, which Mr. Malik from IDMC already highlighted, so I'm not really focusing much, but it's the milk processing. So whether it is membrane processing, ultra-high treatment milk processing, aseptic packaging, latest design of plants and plant equipment with higher level of automation and control systems. They are some of the technologies which are being promoted in whatever dairy plants being set up by NDDB across the country. But in renewable energy, the usage of this in the dairy plants and also at the rural area. So one such thing which we have started promoting is use of concentrated solar thermal technology. It is benefiting the dairy plants across India in minimizing their cost of energy. We are now intensely propagating the use of solar energy at different levels of dairy value chain, such as solarization of village level dairy cooperative societies, milk chilling and processing with the help of solar PV and solar emissions in the dairy sector, at least by, it can save 300 metric ton of carbon emissions per day. And it can also contribute a small way to the UN Sustainable Development Goal of affordable and clean energy. We are also further planning to ramp up the efforts on environment safety through its studies suggesting measures on energy conservation and management, and introducing environment management system leading to ISO 14001. Besides, we have now very recently signed an MOU with Energy Efficiency Services Limited to promote efficient renewable technologies in the dairy industry. Another area which I touch upon was the use of information technology. NDDB continues to its pursuit towards digitization and ensuring transparency in operations, especially in the milk procurement solution. So automatic milk collection system was one such initiative. We developed its software, which is available to the dairy cooperatives free of cost. It will help them to digitize entire operations of village dairy cooperatives and ensure direct milk bill payment to the account of dairy farmers. Now we are also working with Government of India on an ambitious initiative on a comprehensive national digital livestock mission. It's NDLM, and it will create a farmer-centric technology-enabled mechanism that will enable farmers to get better income through all the livestock activities with accurate information and also the timely access to high-quality services. This is based on Enough, incidentally, which was developed by NDDB as a digital platform for strategic planning, promotion, and implementation of various developmental schemes in the animal husbandry during 2008. It has been already recognized by Government of India. It has started working as Project Livestock under the RGM, and its pilot has already begun in the Uttarakhand. So we hope that with this NDLM and another digital initiatives like eGopala and Pashu Mitra, the other digital platforms which were developed by NDDB to support dairy farmers, we will be able to have the better management of the animals. One area which, before I close, I think which I want to touch upon is also the income diversification. So we are now focusing on another important resources of dairy farmers, that is manure and dung. So we were looking at only milk as the possible revenue generator for the farmers so far. Now we are looking at dung and a manure value chain similar to the dairy value chain. So we have supported dairy farmers to establish more than 2,000 household level biogas plants now across 18 states in the country. And this has reduced about 4,000 tons of carbon emission annually. Farmers are using slurry obtained from these biogas plants on their own farms. And this, whatever surplus slurry is generated is aggregated through, again, Women's Manure Cooperative Society to produce solid and liquid organic fertilizers. So use of this bioslurry and upgraded products, they have reduced the requirement of chemical fertilizers, resulting in improvement in soil fertility, crop productivity, and dairy farmers are also earning more on simultaneously reducing the carbon footprints. As I told, I think with changing lifestyle and enhanced consumer awareness on food quality and safety, it presents an opportunity for development of new products and thereby augment their dairy business. If consumer can be presented with food that is ready to use or ready for use with minimum preparation at home, which forms a staple component of their diet, an entirely new domain of opportunities can be unleashed, as it is evident from dairy fruits like butter, dahi, chash, paneer. I know no one thought that these products will be sold on a mass scale basis by the organized players. Another area of interest is, I think, the development of composite foods, which incorporate ingredients from more than one source. So you have dairy source plus non-dairy component, and therefore are more satiating and nutritious, along with a great potential to replace or supplement the staple food components in the diet. So dairyceuticals and some functional foods, they are the areas where value proposition can be offered, and creation of infrastructure for these byproducts used by different food industries is, I think, another frontier we have not adequately tapped, so far. So concluding, I will say that today we live in a dynamic and ever-changing globalized world. For any organization or any industry to survive and prosper in such an environment, I think continuous efforts on innovations, they are imperative. You can't ignore. And looking into the future, I think dairy industry will need to work upon the food safety, information sharing, traceability, leveraging, I think, disruptive technologies such as artificial intelligence, blockchain, and the Internet of Things. While these technologies can provide true end-to-end traceability, connecting to all the players and creating unprecedented transparency and visibility all along the supply chain, from raw material to the end consumer, I think we'll have to overcome the challenge of making such technologies affordable and also scalable. Another challenge, I think, for our industry will be grooming and nurturing social entrepreneurs in the dairy to retain the new generation's interest in the dairy husbandry. Innovations have to be nurtured so that dairying is perceived as a profitable and prestigious occupation. Otherwise, we will lose the interest for the younger generation. And as I said earlier, our focus is on improving the quality of life of our farmers, and especially women dairy farmers who are primarily associated with dairy and are playing a very, very significant role. And at the same time, taking care of interest of consumers, addressing the environmental challenges I discussed. They are some of the other focus areas which NDDB would continue to work upon. And we will also welcome any innovation, any advancement, any collaborations which can help us in achieving these goals. So I will also be very happy to look forward, some of the deliberations and the decisions, which are available after this webinar. They are shared with us. We'll definitely work upon those. Thank you so much to the organizers and ICC for considering me and providing this opportunity to share some of my views. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Shah. I think we are happy to have you. And thank you for very comprehensive and elaborate address. We all know NDDB has been playing a pioneering role. And with you being there, we are seeing a lot of positive developments. So thank you. And thank you for understanding, because we had to change the order a little bit.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And just a thought, maybe since technology is one of the focus, I mean, ICC will be happy to work with you if we could, let's say, look at startups also getting involved and maybe contributing towards innovations.
Fine. We'll be in touch and we'll be very happy to work with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will now move on to our next speaker. May I now request, since we are running late by 15 minutes or 17 or so, I would request all the speakers to kindly manage the time. And if every speaker can maybe manage to say one or two minutes each, we'll be able to be on schedule. I would request Mr. P. Sudhir Kumar, representing Prick India, to please address us.
Good evening to all.
Good evening. Please go ahead.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good evening to all. Thank you, Dr. Rajiv Singh, and also to all the distinguished panelists. I'm going to talk on the latest trends in refrigeration for dairy industry. Already one of my fellow speakers, Mr. Malik, has slightly touched upon the refrigeration industry's latest innovations. First and foremost, I would like to go on to the digitalization of dairy industry. As many of our fellow panelists have been talking about digitalization in the dairy industry. Of course, digitalization is there in all industries, but it is fastly catching up in the dairy industry also. Like cloud computing, smart sensing, right from the rural milk collection centers then into the big dairy projects where artificial intelligence, data analytics are being used. And also it goes to retail. And also nowadays we can have Internet of Things, like sitting across in the office. I can know what the temperature of milk is being processed at my dairy plant by using Internet of Things. This has become possible with automation. First, let us talk about the designing of a refrigeration plant, what it requires. We need a load histogram, which is very crucial to designing a proper refrigeration plant. Once we know the process, what are the process going to be conducted in the dairy, then we can calculate the refrigeration capacity by using load histogram. Once you know the load histogram, then we can calculate the base load and peak load. So for the peak load, we can use the ice silos or ice bank tanks, which we can form the ice in the night where the tariffs are lesser. But for the constant load, we need to have a refrigeration system, base load, working all throughout the day. And also, as we are all knowing that India has also signed the part of the Kigali Amendment subsequent to the Montreal Protocol, that we will be phasing out HFCs, and that is going to happen from 2030. So people are coming back to natural refrigerants, and to be on the safer side, or India is already being using natural refrigerants like ammonia for long, and we are continuing to use it. And only in some segments of dairy industry, people are using HCFCs and HFCs, which needs to be phased out. And we are in the safe hands by using ammonia in our dairy projects. I'm going to talk upon majorly the screw compressor innovation in refrigeration plant and other energy efficient areas where you can reduce the power, because as you all know, about 65 to 75% of the energy consumed in a dairy plant is consumed by refrigeration in plant. So even if you save about 3 to 4%, we are saving a good amount of carbon footprint for the country. So as other fellow speakers were speaking, we have to be conscious about energy being spent on running a refrigeration plant. First and foremost is the heart of the refrigeration system is the screw compressors. The screw compressors are used, which are running at higher speeds and has lesser moving parts and consumes lesser power. I will not go into the details of the working. These are being used mostly in any dairy project which is more than 1 lakh of liters of processing. And below 1 lakh of liters, you can use a reciprocating compressor, but also in reciprocating compressors, we can use direct coupled, whereby you save on the belt losses, which is approximately 3 to 4%. Then you can use IE3, IE4 motors, and then VFD starters, which will save on the power. We can use VFD starters for compressors as well as chilled water pumps. There is the energy efficient motor, which is now in India, we are using IE3, and recently we have started using IE4. It may be looking, if you see this graph, you will find that the difference is very less. But if you're considering a dairy with about 1000 kilowatt, even a 0.5 in efficiency will definitely save you 5 kilowatt per hour. So based on this, now the industry is moving towards IE3 and IE4 motors. The next slide is about falling film chillers, which my fellow speakers have spoken about. Falling film chillers are now slowly taking away from IBTs, because IBTs are not energy efficient, plus they run at a very low evaporating temperatures, consuming more power. Then evaporative type of condensers are also being used in the refrigeration plant, which saves more power than compared to the open type condensers. Ammonia pumping system has come, and nowadays we have to consider even using low charge refrigeration systems in order to cut on the because of the city, lot of dairy plants are now in the city, so we need to use low charge ammonia plants also. And one more application from where you can save energy is using desulfurator system, because all dairies require hot water, and hot water can be generated free of cost by taking the waste heat going to the condenser before being condensed. From the discharge in reciprocating compressors, we can get up to 65 to 70 degrees of water temperature, which can be used for CIP, can cleaning, etc. And VFDs are being used in vertical inline pumps also. The use of VFDs are saving the power 10 to 12% in compressors as well as pumps. This is one of the typical installations where a total 15 lakh liter dairy is using evaporative condensers, screw compressors, and ammonia pumping systems. And also the latest cold storage technologies using palletized type of storage, which saves a lot of storage space, and also hygiene quality is maintained. Then comes the most important part, which I spoke in the starting, the digitalization and the automation. Automation has been a boon to the dairy industry, where we have installed completely automatic refrigeration plants with very minimum labor involved in operating the plant. The olden day refrigeration plant used to have a lot of labor, whereas now we are having lesser thing, and everything can be controlled from a central control desk. I'm not going into the details. I'll just show a small video how a dairy project. I think the video is.
You need to be on a presentation mode.
Yeah. This is the complete plant overview, where the screw compressor operations, individual screw compressor operations are shown, all the parameters, suction pressure, discharge pressure. You're not able to see anything?
No, it's a blank screen.
Oh, okay. It is running for me, but maybe it is. Okay, then I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, so maybe there is some linkage issue.
I think in the interest of time, if we can also skip this.
I think the interest of time, it has been a thing. Thank you, ICC. Thank you, Madhuparna and Sanjay, and also to the fellow distinguished panel. It's been a nice, wonderful presentation from each of the panelists. And I'll be looking forward to hear from other stalwarts like Dr. Sodhi and Ms. Varsha Joshi. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kumar. We would now go to our next speaker. May I request Mr. Sanyam Jain, representing Hindustan Thermostatics, to please address us. Mr. Jain.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Okay. Milk procurement. Every time when we talk about any dairy innovation or any dairy advancement, milk procurement always play a very important role, because the major challenge is not to innovate the things, but to implement that innovate things to the ground level. So here at ST, we believe जब तक एक किसान और मिल्क प्लांट ओनर के बीच में दूध का बूंद का हिसाब ट्रांसपेरेंसी से नहीं चलेगा, तब तक मिल्क प्रोक्योरमेंट के बारे में बात करनी चाहिए, तब तक उसमें इनोवेशन करनी चाहिए, तब तक उसके बारे में एडवांसमेंट के लिए काम करना चाहिए. So I, Sanyam Jain, feels really proud representing Hindustan Thermostatics, which incorporated in 1965, and we have gradually grown with our product portfolio with the smartest IoT-based milk analyzer in this current year. So let's talk about कि आज की डेट में प्रॉब्लम्स क्या है मिल्क प्रोक्योरमेंट पे और क्या सॉल्यूशंस हैं उसके. सबसे पहले मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूंगा अपने माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का, जिनकी वजह से डिजिटल इंडिया की मुहिम से आज मेरे देश का किसान एक 4G फोन यूज कर पा रहा है। हर एक छोटे से छोटे विलेज में आज में हम 4G कनेक्टिविटी दे पा रहे हैं। उस 4G कनेक्टिविटी को ही हमें अपने मिल्क प्रोक्योरमेंट सोल्यूशन में इंप्लीमेंट करना है। अभी भी मिल्क कलेक्शन पॉइंट्स पे जो डाटा प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट रखे हैं, जो कंप्यूटर सिस्टम रखे हैं, वो GSM मॉडेम पे चल रहे हैं, जो 2G टेक्नोलॉजी के ऊपर चल रहे हैं, जिसके कारण वश जितने भी डेटा प्रोसेसिंग हो रही है वो बहुत स्लो हो रही है। उसके बाद जब डेटा प्रोसेसिंग स्लो होगी, डेटा की मैनिपुलेशन बहुत आसान हो जाती है, कि बिकॉज जब तक डेटा इंक्रिप्ट नहीं होगा उसे हम मैनिपुलेट कर सकते हैं। उसके बाद हाई इरेगुलरिटी, 90% डेटा सिंक हो गया, 10% डेटा सिंक नहीं हुआ, वहां प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं। उसके बाद जो अगर मेरे साथ मेंटेनेंस इंजीनियर या प्रोक्योरमेंट ऑफिसर्स सुन रहे होंगे, उनको मेजर चैलेंज जो फेस करना पड़ रहा है अपनी मिल्क कलेक्शन सोसाइटीज में, कि मिल्क एनालाइजर्स की क्लीनिंग प्रॉपर नहीं होती है। अल्ट्रासोनिक मिल्क एनालाइजर आर नॉट क्लीन प्रॉपरली। तो उसका क्या सोल्यूशन है? देन रिपोर्टिंग ऑफ मेंटेनेंस एंड सपोर्ट स्टाफ एट ग्राउंड लेवल। उसके बाद वही आउटडेटेड रेट चार्ट्स रहते हैं, फार्मर लेजर्स अपडेट नहीं होते, कोई एनालिटिक लाइव रिपोर्टिंग नहीं है। जब हम मिल्क कलेक्शन पूरा कर लेते हैं, उसके 15 मिनट्स बाद हमें पूरा कलेक्शन होने के बाद समझ में आता है हमने क्या डिसीजन लेना है। उसके बाद लैक ऑफ ट्रांसपेरेंसी बिटवीन फार्मर्स एंड द स्टेक होल्डर्स। हार्डवेयर मिसयूज की मिल्क प्लांट ओनर्स हार्डवेयर एम्प्लॉय कर देते हैं, इट इज मिसयूज्ड बाय द सुपरवाइजर। सो सोल्यूशन क्या है इन प्रॉब्लम्स का? Make IoT solutions so smart and affordable that even a small uneducated farmer can use the product. आज मेरा देश का किसान फेसबुक यूज कर सकता है, व्हाट्सएप यूज कर सकता है, अपने बैंक की ट्रांजैक्शन देख सकता है अपने मोबाइल में। क्या हम ये मिल्क प्रोक्योरमेंट का सोल्यूशन अगर हमने उनके मोबाइल में दे दिया तो क्या वो यूज कर पाएगा? ऑब्वियसली जब वो इन सारी चीजों को इस्तेमाल कर सकता है तो हमारा प्रोक्योरमेंट सिस्टम भी वो बहुत आसानी से इस्तेमाल कर पाएगा। इस चीज को इंप्लीमेंट करने के लिए व्हाट वी आर प्रपोजिंग राइट नाउ, 90% मिल्क सोसाइटीज जो मिल्क प्रोक्योर कर रही हैं, दे आर इक्विप्ड विद मिल्क एनालाइजर, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वेइंग स्केल, रिमोट डिस्प्ले ऑलरेडी इंस्टॉल्ड है उनके पास। वी सजेस्ट दैट इंस्टॉलिंग ऑफ स्मॉल IoT ब्रिज। IoT स्टैंड्स फॉर इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग। एक छोटा सा PCB इंस्टॉल हो जाएगा, चाहे वो एनालाइजर के अंदर भी इंस्टॉल हो सकता है या एक छोटे से बॉक्स में भी इंस्टॉल हो सकता है। नाउ दिस IoT ब्रिज विल कम्युनिकेट विद एनी एंड्रॉइड फोन, वो सैमसंग, Xiaomi, Vivo, Oppo, कोई हम हार्डवेयर ओरिएंटेड बात नहीं कर रहे कि यू नीड टू एम्प्लॉय अ सर्टेन एस्टीमेट प्रोडक्ट कि आपको उसी से काम करेगा। कोई सा भी आपका नॉर्मल एंड्रॉइड फोन हो, एनालाइजर एंड द वेइंग स्केल विल स्टार्ट कम्युनिकेटिंग विद दैट। अब ये जो मोबाइल फोन है, इट विल फ्लैश ऑल द डेटा ऑन द इंटरनेट। अब इंटरनेट पे डेटा अवेलेबल है, उसके बाद वो फार्मर को उसके लेजर्स भी शो कर सकता है, सुपरवाइजर को उनके मिल्क कलेक्शन पॉइंट के बारे में भी दिखा सकता है, ट्रांसपोर्टर टैंकर ऐप के थ्रू उसको अपनी सारी जानकारी भी दे सकता है। तो सबसे पहले बात करें हम कलेक्शन ऐप के बारे में। अगर नॉर्थ इंडिया से कुछ लोग जुड़े हुए हों तो आज किसी आंदोलन की वजह से हमारे इस नॉर्थ इंडिया में मोबाइल डेटा बंद है किसी कारणवश। सो आवर सिस्टम रन्स इन ऑफलाइन एंड ऑनलाइन मोड ऑल्सो। ऐसा नहीं है कि डेटा कनेक्टिविटी होगी तभी आपकी मिल्क प्रोक्योरमेंट हो सकती है। विदाउट मिल्क डेटा ऑल्सो द सिस्टम विल जनरेट फार्मर रिसिप्ट, the system will calculate the rate chart, the system will generate the farmer ledger, remote rate chart updation होगी, entire system runs on a wireless technology। ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर किसी ने वायर निकाल दिया या किसी माल फंक्शनिंग की वजह से वायर कट गया तो सिस्टम रन होना बंद हो जाएगा। entire thing runs on a wireless technology। उसके बाद मैंडेटरी सिंक विद क्लाउड है। अभी जो DPUs और कंप्यूटर सिस्टम हम एम्प्लॉय कर रहे हैं उसमें सबसे बड़ा डिसएडवांटेज क्या है, एक छोटा सा बटन होता है, सुपरवाइजर नीड टू क्लिक दैट बटन और तभी सारे डेटा इंटरनेट पे पुश होता है। हमारे सिस्टम में ईच एंड एवरी एंट्री इज सिंक विद इन 0.9 सेकेंड। इधर अगर डेटा कनेक्टिविटी प्रॉपर है, जैसी एनालाइजर और वेइंग स्केल ने डेटा दिया, इट विल बी श्योरली flashed on the internet just in 0.9 seconds. So as you all know, all the data is on AWS cloud. So डेटा की फास्टनेस, सिक्योरिटी वहीं पे भी पॉसिबल। अब अगेन जब एक इकोसिस्टम बना, एक फार्मर के लिए भी मोबाइल ऐप अवेलेबल है, सुपरवाइजर के लिए भी मोबाइल ऐप अवेलेबल है, टैंकर के लिए भी मोबाइल ऐप अवेलेबल है। सो व्हाट इज आवर एडवांटेज ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री? आवर एडवांटेज इज दैट इफ अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर, कोई भी एक अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर का बंदा, इन केस दे वांट टू सेट अप जस्ट वन कलेक्शन पॉइंट, I am repeating this word. If somebody wants to install milk collection point just for one unit, then this whole automation is also available for that. अभी तक हम बात कर रहे हैं आपका ऑर्डर क्वांटिटी 100 पीसेस, 200, 1000 पीसेस होना चाहिए, then only we will come in the picture for the automation of dairy. Our keen focus is for the unorganized sector. अभी भी आज की डेट में 70% of the Indian dairy sector falls under अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर। अगर हम एक प्रोडक्ट अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर के लिए देंगे तो कन्वर्टिंग देम फ्रॉम अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर टू ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर विल बी अ बेटर थिंग। इसी अप्रोच को साथ में लगते हुए हमारा अप्रोच ऑफ वर्क रहता है सॉफ्टवेयर फर्स्ट अप्रोच। हम पेंडेमिक में देख पा रहे हैं, आज हम एक कम्युनिकेशन भी एक सॉफ्टवेयर के थ्रू कर पा रहे हैं, फेस टू फेस नहीं कर पा रहे। सो एवरीथिंग व्हिच वी डेवलप हियर एट एसटी, इट इज अकॉर्डिंग टू द यूनिवर्सल इकोसिस्टम। अगर आप किसी भी ब्रांड का फोन, किसी भी रैम का, किसी भी प्रोसेसर का फोन यूज करते हैं, आर प्रोडक्ट, आर एप्लीकेशन विल रन इन एंटायर प्रोडक्ट्स व्हिच आर अवेलेबल इन द मार्केट। एंड दिस, इसका एडवांटेज क्या है? दैट इट कैन बी रेट्रोफिटेड इन एनी बिजनेस लॉजिक। अगर आज टुडे यू आर हैविंग अ 500 मिल्क कलेक्शन पॉइंट, यू टुक अ डिसीजन दैट विद इन 15 days आई नीड टू इन्वेस्ट एंड आई नीड टू समराइज स्केल अप टू 700 milk collection point. The taking of decision is very easy with this kind of approach because your product is working. Our product is not software oriented. Just scaling up the server side, the scaling up the software side will help you to scale up your business. अब लास्ट 1 or 2 years में हम MSMEs के साथ बहुत टच में आए, तो उनका सबसे बड़ा कंसर्न ये था व्हेन दे स्टार्ट डूइंग देयर न्यू बिजनेस, जो डेयरी इंडस्ट्री में नए आते हैं, दे स्टार्ट डूइंग देयर बिजनेस, उनको खट्टे दूध, खराब दूध की बहुत प्रॉब्लम आती है बिकॉज फार्मर की वजह से या ट्रांसपोर्टेशन की वजह से उनको मिल्क मॉर्निंग का इवनिंग में पोर होता है, इवनिंग का नेक्स्ट मॉर्निंग में पोर होता है। सो वी आर प्रोवाइडिंग आवर एनालाइजर विद पीएच कंडक्टिविटी ऑफ पीएच ऑप्शन ऑल्सो, जिससे कि इन केस जब एनालिसिस में फैट और एसएनएफ टेस्ट हो रहा था, उसी टाइम में ही पीएच भी चेक हो रहा है, तो पर्सन स्टेक होल्डर कैन एबल टू चेक कि जब मेरा मिल्क प्रोक्योर हुआ क्या इट वाज एट राइट पीएच। अगर वो 6 से 5 वैल्यू से डाउन जा रहा है, दैट मींस वो मिल्क खट्टा होना शुरू हुआ है, मिल्क खराब होना शुरू हुआ है। जितना टाइम हम फैट एसएनएफ की कैलकुलेशन में दे रहे थे, उतना ही टाइम हम पीएच की कैलकुलेशन पे भी दे रहे हैं, और ये सब चीजें हम अगेन सर्वर पे देख पा रहे हैं। उसके बाद जैसे हम आगे बढ़े तो एक मेजर कंसर्न आया सोमैटिक सेल काउंट का। सोमैटिक सेल काउंट को अगर हमने चेक करना है, इट इज वेरी इजी टू यूज द विस्कोसिटी मेथड या माइक्रोस्कोपिक टेस्टिंग से, इट इज वेरी इजी, बट वी कैन नॉट एम्प्लॉय दैट मशीन टू द ग्राउंड लेवल, टू द मिल्क कलेक्शन पॉइंट, बिकॉज उसके लिए वो एनवायरमेंट फिजिबल नहीं है। So with the help of National Dairy Research Institute, Karnal and DRI, all the scientists make the conclusion that conductivity is correlated with the somatic cell count. So as the conductivity is increasing, the somatic cell count will also increase. So it gives a preliminary basic test. अगर conductivity increase हो रही है, we take out that sample and check for the somatic cell count. अगेन हमने कुछ ज्यादा इन्वेस्ट नहीं करा, कोई टाइम ज्यादा इन्वेस्ट नहीं करा, कोई हार्डवेयर ज्यादा यूज नहीं करा। जो सेम एनालाइजर फैट और एसएनएफ टेस्ट कर रहा था, आज उसके साथ ही हम पीएच भी चेक कर पा रहे हैं, कंडक्टिविटी भी चेक कर पा रहे हैं, और वो सारा डेटा हम एक सेंट्रलाइज सर्वर पे ले पा रहे हैं। अब हमने शुरू में जैसे डिस्कस करा था कि हार्डवेयर मिसयूज अगेन अ मेजर इशू। So with the help of a latest technology, we are using the best microcontrollers, dual core Extensa LX7 MCO technology, जिसकी मदद से क्या होगा, इन केस अगर कोई डीपीयू, कोई कंप्यूटर, कोई एंड्रॉइड डिवाइस अगर एनालाइजर से कनेक्टेड भी नहीं है, तब भी it can store all the data of the analysis, all the data of the weighing scale, जब भी एंड्रॉइड फोन एनालाइजर से कनेक्ट होगा, इट विल सिंक ऑल द प्रीवियस डाटा एंड सेंड दैट डाटा टू द सेंट्रलाइज्ड सर्वर। इससे हार्डवेयर का मिसयूज बिल्कुल ही बंद हो जाएगा। इन केस अगर एक भी एनालिसिस विदाउट एंड्रॉइड फोन हुआ है, फर्स्टली इट विल सिंक दैट एनालिसिस, देन इट विल गो फर्दर। वही एक प्रॉब्लम स्टेक होल्डर्स की हमने डिस्कस करी थी कि क्लीनिंग इज द मेजर इशू। आपने मिल्क कलेक्शन पॉइंट पे अल्ट्रासोनिक मिल्क एनालाइजर लगाया, बट इफ इट इज नॉट क्लीन्ड प्रॉपर्ली, नथिंग कैन हैपन। आप कुछ प्रॉपर्ली मिल्क कलेक्शन पॉइंट को नहीं चला सकते। सो आवर सिस्टम गिव्स अ मैंडेटरी क्लीनिंग फीडबैक टू द कलेक्शन सिस्टम। अगर आपका कलेक्शन कंप्लीट हुआ है, डिस्पैच स्लिप निकलने से पहले इट विल आस्क फॉर द डेली प्रॉपर क्लीनिंग। If it is not done, if the dispatch slip will not generate. But in case the person have made a manual slip, anything can happen. But in case evening session has been started, तो जब तक मॉर्निंग की क्लीनिंग का सेशन का उनके पास डेटा नहीं होगा, इवनिंग की कलेक्शन स्टार्ट नहीं हो सकती। दिस इज जो मेजर मेंटेनेंस का प्रॉब्लम आता है। आप जब 1000 और 1500 सोसाइटीज होती हैं, उन कलेक्शन पॉइंट को मैनेज करने की प्रॉब्लम आती है। तो क्लीनिंग अगर मैंडेटरी हो जाएगी, एनालाइजर खुद ही बोलेगा मैं भाई आगे नहीं चलूंगा जब तक क्लीन नहीं करोगे मेरे को। तो आई थिंक वी विल बी एबल टू सॉल्व दैट प्रॉब्लम।
Sure. Since we are running short, if you could.
I'll just take 2 minutes, no problem. Now again comes mobile AMC cloud application. अब स्टेक होल्डर्स को हमने इतनी अथॉरिटी दे दी है अपने पैनल से, इन केस अगर उनको कुछ भी प्रॉब्लम लगती है अपने मिल्क एनालाइजर का, अगर वो किसी और कंट्री में भी बैठे हैं और यहाँ पे एक छोटे से गांव में उनका मिल्क कलेक्शन पॉइंट लगा हुआ है, दे कैन सिंपली स्विच ऑन एंड स्विच ऑफ द मशीन। इतनी अथॉरिटी इसी पैनल से है। वो वहां पे सारा लाइव डेटा तो देख ही सकते हैं उन कलेक्शन पॉइंट का, रादर दे कैन इंस्ट्रक्ट द एनालाइजर सिटिंग एट देयर ऑफिस ओनली। उसके बाद जैसे हमने डिस्कस करा रॉ मिल्क रिसेप्शन डॉक, अभी तक हमने मिल्क प्रिक्योर करा सारा। मिल्क प्रिक्योर इज अगेन checked at the plant level in case the person is having only 8 to 10 collection point. छोटे MSME की बात कर रहे हैं हम, if they are having just 10 collection point and they want to use just one analyzer for raw milk reception dock, we have the solution and it is again free of cost for the person who is getting the milk collection point accessories from us. But in case you want to go with the entire proper raw milk reception dock, we have a technology which runs on Android. Again, a small Android phone will be attached to the weighing scale and up to 4 analyzer on a single mobile. आप 4 एनालाइजर 6 एनालाइजर लाइन में लगा सकते हैं और सिंगल फोन से you can check all the quality of the milk and all the raw milk reception dock can be used. हमने अभी बात करी थी मेंटेनेंस। अगेन अब बहुत बड़ा इशू है कि 1600 सोसाइटीज हैं, उनको मैनेज कैसे किया जाए। जब तक हम डीपीयूज या कंप्यूटर सिस्टम और एम्प्लॉय कर रहे थे, देयर इज नो टेक्नोलॉजी ऑफ यूजिंग अ जीपीएस। हम उनकी लोकेशन नहीं ट्रैक कर सकते। Now, if we are using the mobile AMC technology, then we can track हमारा milk collection point कहाँ पर है। In case there is some breakdown, तो breakdown में वो हमारे डैशबोर्ड पे red signals show करेगा and it will inform the nearest service center that this collection point is having some issue. The person can go and do the maintenance. अब डेटा इज द नेक्स्ट फ्यूल ऑफ द वर्ल्ड। अभी आप अगर टीवी को फॉलो करते हैं, व्हाट्सएप भी आज कल एक छोटा सा मैसेज दे रहा है, योर डेटा इज सिक्योर्ड, योर डेटा इज इंक्रिप्टेड। सो एज वी ऑल नो, डेटा, हमें अपने डेटा की सिक्योरिटी बहुत चाहिए। सो HT इज ISO 27001 सर्टिफाइड, विच इज मैंडेटरी थिंग फॉर क्लाउड कंप्लायंस। वी गो विद रेगुलर VPAT टेस्टिंग। Third party testing होती है, the servers are not hackable. They can, if there is some breach, they inform us, we rectify this thing. Cloudflare two-factor authentication. The two-factor authentication which Gmail, LinkedIn, Facebook is using right now, we are following that only. Data encryption is both in rest in motion. अगर analyzer से data mobile में आया है, then also it is in encrypted form. mobile phone में पड़ा, that is again in encrypted form. Again, it goes to the cloud server and it will be only decrypted by a client side. Even ST will not be able to decrypt whole data because the milk plant owns the data. They do not want to share that data to anybody else in the world. So every data which is coming through this system is purely secure. Again, we make a small analysis whether this employing of IoT bridge is feasible to milk collection point or not. So we have made some graph that if on the x-axis it is the convenience level which is going on, and for the y-axis we are maintaining that what is the cost of the product. So we'll feel proud that this product lies under the most convenient and the less expensive because
we are running short of time. So
just one minute. Because the cost of IoT bridge is just 8,000 to 10,000 rupees. So you can judge it is the most convenient and less expensive. So thank you very much for giving us the time. And I feel privileged. If you want to contact to us, we have a very branch offices in entire India with 128 plus service centers. So we will be happy to hear you. Thank you, sir, for giving us the time.
Thank you, Mr. Jain. Very, very useful. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Our next speaker is Mr. Ranjit Mukundan. May I request you, sir, to please address us?
Sure. Is the presentation visible?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to all the dignitaries, ICC personnel, the co-panelists and the audience for having me here. Today, I will touch upon some work that we are doing in the data science, artificial intelligence and related deep tech areas as it applies to the dairy supply chain. So as we speak, these technologies that I'm going to be speaking about has been applied at scale, pan-India. Today, we digitize over 13 million liters of milk flow per day, which roughly comes to 8% of the organized milk. We have onboarded over 3 million farmers, and we are present in over 35,000 villages in India. So these technologies are not just something nice to have, but this is something that we think can be deployed at scale so that the smallholder farmers can benefit immensely from this intervention. The tech that we use broadly falls under the three key buckets, three main blocks, right? It falls under the milk procurement block, which enables grading, pricing, real-time payments to the farmers. There's a farm intervention block which enables us to digitize all of the animal husbandry life cycle. The minister spoke about it, Minesha ji spoke about it, so that it's not just about, digitizing one part of the supply chain, but how do you cohesively digitize the farm part alongside the milk procurement part? And finally, use the data to ensure that the smallholder farmers are able to get the input, agri-input products and services at a very attractive rate. Right. So these three blocks, put together, uses deep tech enablers such as IoT, artificial intelligence, data science, computer vision, blockchain, thermal imaging, and all of this is needed so that in a very highly fragmented supply chain like in India, to provide a holistic and cohesive view, the only way is to logically aggregate the supply chain via use of these deep tech technology enablers. This can actually help India leapfrog from its current first generation, second generation milk supply chain procurement mechanisms to straight away to a fifth generation mechanism to digitize its supply chain. The tech that I spoke about includes digitization to primarily help improve productivity, quality, and traceability. Right, this tech helps enable trusted dairy brands to sell their differentiated dairy products to consumers at scale. As I mentioned, To enable this, it's critical to digitize all parts of the supply chain, not just the farm part, not just the collection center part. It's critical to digitize the chilling centers, processing plants, distributor network, and the entire retail and consumer touch points as well. The tech intervention will require a combination of sensors, hardware, electronics, data, and analytics. So it's just not only about applications, it's just not only about smartphones, it's just not only about cloud, it's a combination of a whole slew of components, including electronics, software, data science, that helps you digitize this highly fragmented supply chain in a very cohesive manner. So what we have done is that on the farm side, we use components and enablers like animal wearables, which is almost like the Fitbit for the cattle. We use facial recognition of animals to uniquely identify the animals without even a hardware tag. You don't need a ear tag, nor do you need a subcutaneous RFID. You can actually use facial recognition to uniquely identify animals. Uberizing the village level personnel so that via their smartphone, they can become almost like a logical extension of our own teams. So the tech intervention enables all of these. At the collection center, transparent grading and pricing, literally converting milk into currency in real time. Chilling center front, enabling quality and freshness of milk. Similarly, interventions in the rest of the supply chain. So the whole idea is to look at the supply chain as a whole and digitize every part of it using a combination of sensors, electronics, IoT routers, data science, and cloud, so that we get one cohesive view, so that overall the supply chain can move from a sort of a very fragmented subsistence level to a next level of precision aggregation. And our whole idea is that at the end of the day, the key actor in the supply chain is the farmer. Can the farmer get access to all of these services on this digital highway? So once you've sort of constructed this digital highway, right from the udder through to the consumer, can the farmer then get access to a whole slew of services that he can benefit from? And as a consumer, so it's not a value prop only to the farmers, so it's not a value prop only directed towards the dairy processors, but also as a consumer, what do they get? As someone mentioned earlier in the call, on the panel, that thanks to COVID, thanks to a lot of the media hype around immunity, consumers are demanding higher visibility into the supply chain. So the digitization not only helps the supply side of things, it also helps consumers get better visibility into their supply chain, and hence willing to pay a little extra if you're able to convince them that this milk is really undergone all the tests and all the rigor across the supply chain. And in terms of the farm side, right, as I mentioned, farmer is the key actor. The farmers do need various input products and services to boost his productivity, right? They need a good intervention on the breeding side, intervention on the productivity improvement side, and a lot of collateral and ancillary services like insurance, capital, payments, and all of it. So when you digitize, the data can be used to ensure that the farmers do get access to all the input products and services in a much more reliable fashion. And a lot of these farmers, as we know, are new to credit. So if you want them to gain access to good credit, good organized credit, and shift them from a subsistence level farmer to micro entrepreneur level farmers, we do use data to ensure that the banks are more confident to lend to them. The collection centers can be used as virtually banking points, because digitization can be seen as a downside if the farmers can't retrieve cash on a need basis, right? So how do you enable all of this using the milk collection center or the milk network as a key pivot? And not only the financial inclusion, not only insurance, not only animal productivity, breeding, and other ancillary services can be provided. If a farmer wants to sell his cattle, how do you ensure that he can sell it at a premium? How do you ensure that its genetics and progeny are well recorded, so that he can, as the herd size grows, he can also monetize the farm beyond just the milk revenue that he normally gets? And finally, the farmer is at the center of gravity of what we do. Right, there are, as we all know, 300 million cattle, pre-harvest and post-harvest put together 7.6% of India's GDP. Most of the subsistence level farmers are at 35 rupee per day. If you want to shift 50 million of such farmers to the next level, the only way to do it is through these high-end deep technologies, data science, artificial intelligence, IoT, wherein by an order of magnitude, the farm intervention, the farm incomes can go up. We can actually shift the farmers from a micro entrepreneur, from a subsistence level to a micro entrepreneur level by increasing the overall throughput 130 times. Right, and this is a case study that we have actually where we've intervened in several parts of India where these kind of increases definitely possible. And not only farm income, farm profitability income, how do you ensure that there is better energy optimization in the cold chain? How do you ensure that we are burning less diesel to burn to chill milk? How do you ensure that you can enable methane gas reduction? As you know, 1 kg of methane gas is equal to 23 kg of carbon. How do you ensure that you can reduce the carbon footprint? So by digitization, not only are you improving the farm incomes by an order of magnitude, you're also helping reduce the carbon footprint, and you're also helping optimize the energy consumption. So overall, by ensuring that we digitize the supply chain end to end and improving the productivity, quality, and traceability using deep tech like artificial intelligence, IoT, data science, cloud analytics, we can sort of construct a digital highway right through the dairy supply chain and ensure that the farmer moves from the current subsistence level to micro entrepreneur level. Just a quick brief. I try to save a few minutes because we're running late. Thank you for the audience.
Absolutely. Thank you. And special thanks for that. Mr. Mukundan, it really sounds exciting and interesting. I think deep tech has the scope to transform dairy space. And I'm sure going ahead, dairy sector will use it to bring in efficiency and also have the larger impact. Thank you.
Thank you.
We now move on to Mr. Ajit Patel, representing Everest Instruments. May I request you to please address us? Mr. Patel. You are on mute. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good evening to all. I thank you, the Honorable Minister Sri Purushottam Rupala ji, Ms. Varsha Joshi ji, Joint Secretary, Minister of Fisheries Animal Husbandry, Sri Minesh Shah ji, Chairman NDDB, Dr. R.S. Sodhi Saab, Managing Director, Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation, Mr. Pradeep Sureka ji, Senior Vice President, Indian Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Manish Bandlin Singh ji, Managing Director, Mother Dairy, and all other distinguished personalities present here. And I welcome you all to the e-conference on innovations and advancement in the Indian dairy industry. I'm obliged to the Indian Chamber of Commerce for having been given this opportunity. We are the leading manufacturer and suppliers of precision analytical instruments, mainly used in dairy, milk, and food testing industries. We are in the market since more than 23 years. A detailed presentation on our company and on our products will be given by tomorrow by Mr. Naveen Kant Bhatnagar, our Vice President, Sales and Marketing. The presence of Honorable Minister and the doings of our sector show the importance of this webinar, and I'm sure the presentations, discussions, and deliberations to be held in today and tomorrow will be very much constructive. Before I proceed further, I would like to put it on record perennial activities undertaken by the NDDB and Dr. Sodhi, Amul, and other Mother Dairy and other the leading milk unions and the industry to introduce a sophisticated milk quality testing instruments and software solutions to ensure the quality of milk and its finished products. We are also obliged to the officials in the ministry who have shown their inclination to replace and absorb the new technologies for milk adulteration screening to ensure the quality of milk. Automation and process optimization is the catalyst for the dairy upliftment and development. Process optimizations or equipment optimization is the practice of enhancing organizational efficiency through process improvement. This helps verify the existing tools are being used optimally and ensuring that the data is accurate and useful. Automation technology driven process can change the way we produce milk, and the benefits are far-reaching: improved profitability, milk quality, lifestyle, and animal welfare as well. The technology will greatly enhance dairy farming process, making them easier and simpler. This in turn has lowered dairy farming costs as compared to other years. Currently, the number of dairy products in the market has greatly multiplied as a result of advancement in the dairy processing and the farming. New applications and the softwares can provide dairy farmers with real-time data. This allows farmers to manage the dairy farming very efficiently. Milk quality is checked from the milk collection center, bulk milk to final products according to the milk quality program in force. The main aspects concerning the raw milk selection criteria such as adulteration.
Mr. Patel, you are on mute.
I'm sorry. The main aspect concerning the raw milk selection criteria such as adulteration screening, antibiotic, temperature, acidity, somatic cells count, but also main milk components such as fat, total solid, protein, lactose, solid not fat, minerals. Milk quality control assurance is extremely important for the dairy industry. It protects the health of producers and consumers and ensures that the producers are able to sell their products at a fair price. At the farm, quality control and assurance must begin at the farm. This is achieved through the farmers using the approved practices of milk production and handling, and observations of laid down regulations regarding use of veterinary drugs on lactating animals, regulations against the adulterations of milk, etc. Everest offers complete dairy management solutions from farm to fork to facilitate various testing to ensure the quality of milk in all aspects. Our products are EcoMilk Ultra Pro and the Everest IoT-based milk collection systems have no parallel in the market. We have already installed more than 1 lakh unit of milk analyzer across the country. Our analyzers and the systems are unique solution which offers multiple testing facilities to opt out for the farmers in one platform. Our solutions for the milk collection centers to keep our commitment of providing better, sophisticated solutions to our customers, we have introduced a complete range of testing and control instruments in collaboration with PerkinElmer USA. Indiscope, which is our just a new innovation, which is FTIR-based milk analyzer along with adulteration screening. Our goal is always a speed and the accuracy. The machine, it is destined to revolutionize the concept of milk analyzing within less than 30 seconds. It has an unaccessible testing time of 30 seconds and can screen more than 21 adulterants. It has features of artificial intelligence and check for wholesomeness and the chemical quality as well. Another, our best milk analyzer, which is for the milk chilling center and for the plant, which is the Lactoscope FTA milk analyzer, which is again FTIR based technology. Lactoscope milk analyzer is designed to address the needs of dairies and processors of all sizes to quickly and accurately analyze the key components of raw milk and other dairy products. A state-of-the-art FTIR techno instruments with modern optics and simple to use but powerful software enables the Lactoscope to test raw, standardized, processed milk, whey, cream, yogurt, ice cream mix, and other dairy products as well.
May I request you to wind up, please, since we are running short of time.
In 2 minutes, sir. The instruments incorporate the latest technology as well. And we have another instruments which is for, we can say for the process and the dairy plant, where we are having inline and online instruments as well, where we can like DS7250, which is our tabletop analyzers, where we can analyze any kind of dairy and milk products within a less than 6 seconds, where we can analyze moisture, protein, fat, ash, starch, and many other parameters with the excellent accuracy as well. We do have another analyzers, which is a 7350 inline and online. With these analyzers, we can optimize the process. During the manufacturing process, we can get the online data directly through the PC or user interface software or fully integrated existing plant control and quality management like PLC, SCADA or something like that, where we can control fat, protein, moisture, and all other parameters during the production. So we can increase the yield, we can optimize, we can control the quality, and we can have a good quality and consistency in the quality as well. Another instrument, which is the online instruments, which we can fit on the conveyor belt during the process, like cheese or snacks or bakery products, where we can also control real-time data during the process, and we can measure all the required parameters immediately. We do have a cattle feed analyzers as well, which is also a 7250 and 9700, which is also very special analyzers we designed for our Indian cattle feed industry, where we can also monitor and we can analyze immediately within a less than 30 seconds all the incoming raw materials as well as ingredients and the finished products as well. So also we can also control the quality of all these incoming and outgoing materials as well as our finished products as well.
So if you could please, yeah, mind.
Thank you. So milk producers, this is our most of this product I have covered. I'm so sorry with this limit of the time.
No, sure. Thank you,
Rajiv Singh, to give me opportunity. And tomorrow we will have another detailed presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Patel. We go to our next speaker. May I invite Mr. Manish Bandlish, Managing Director of Mother Dairy FNV. May I request you to please share your thoughts. Mr. Bandlish.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I really appreciate this opportunity, Dr. Rajiv. Special thanks to all the other panel members, Mrs. Varsha Joshi, Dr. Sodhi, Mr. Minesh Shah, who's not there, Chairman NDDB, for being here and presenting their thoughts, and all the other panelists as well. I'll just take a few minutes to share my thoughts on this. And see, we all know, I mean, all the people here in this panel are, veterans in the dairy industry. And so we all know that the Indian dairy industry witnessed a huge advancement through Operation Flood, which helped the quality of milk really reaching the consumers across the geography of India. There were programs which were executed which removed the middlemen in the overall structure, and the cooperative model which was developed and executed through this particular program in Gujarat, and where Amul got its existence, has really taken this sector to the next level. And we are, as has been rightly said, we are among the highest milk producers in the world over the years, and it is only growing as we go year on year. Over the years, various aspects of industry have evolved, and when we measure any industry's advancement, it cannot be measured in terms of 1 or 2 years. It is over decades when industries and development starts happening. And so some of the key areas which I can think of are, the automatic machines and milking machines, where various methods being employed to milk animals and giving the right technology and environment. Advancements in feed industry have really helped in terms of creating more and more nourishment and balanced diet for the animals. Animal breeding techniques, which were also mentioned during the day today in terms of AI and IVF. Health tracking of animal data in terms of animal upkeep, and there are a lot of new age companies who are really working on this particular aspect, including RFID tags, tracking animal health and other production parameters. All these areas have really helped in terms of using technology and innovation into the production of milk. Not only these, I think there's a lot of work which has also happened in terms of various aspects of the various courses which are very much prevalent in this industry, which have helped create talent in the industry and create much more awareness about the whole production and use of technology in the milk industry. What I would like to, while the lot has been said about the farmers, and which is so rightly said in terms of creating farmer income and how do we increase productivity for the farmers, and that is the crux of our industry. What I would also like to cover is the consumer, some parts where, and also our own responsibility towards society as a whole. I would like to take innovations under 3 or 4 heads in terms of what is happening in the milk industry and how our companies like us are working towards creating more and more consumer-centric products and services. And I think if I take the first step, which is the health and wellness, I think there's a lot of innovation which is happening in this particular aspect. And we see innovations around immunity building products, and especially so in the last 1 or 2 years, we have seen a lot of development of products like Haldi milk, Ayurvedic ingredients in various formats like milkshake, ice creams, etc. Because with the changing consumer, the newer and younger consumer which is coming into our fold, it is important for the industry to keep in touch with the latest consumer trends. We also see a lot of development of probiotics and other application in the both in curd, yogurts, and drinks, which are really helping grow the industry into these particular platforms. You also see a lot of innovation on healthy snacking. While snacking as a term is typically associated with namkeens, etc., but I think a lot of work is also happening in terms of creating this healthy snacking options like Greek yogurts, yogurts with fruit and cereals, smoothies, protein drinks, etc., which are giving a lot of options for today's consumers. A trend in terms of eliminating additives and use of natural ingredients to ride on the natural perception of the products. So these ingredients are really helping create more and more natural aura around our products. Needless to say, products like lactose-free milks, A2 milk, and these kind of products are also creating a niche for the consumers who are much more attracted to a healthy lifestyle. What is also important in the second part of the innovation, which I would like to talk about, is also the convenience. We all have seen how in the last couple of decades, many product lines, when we see curd as a product, slowly and gradually over the last couple of decades, most of the consumers or many of the consumers have converted from creating curd at home to now packaged curd. Similarly, a lot of work is also happening on converting the ethnic products into safe and packaged formats, and which is much more convenient for a consumer and also guarantees certain amount of safety and quality parameters to the consumer. You see a lot of work also happening around traditional mithais like milk cakes, which are coming out and being accepted by the consumer in packaged forms. You also see ethnic products like lassi, chaach, paneer. These are again products which have really gained prominence today, and there's a huge scope today which is existing in the industry to convert these products into a consumer developed market. And slowly and gradually, new age consumers are definitely accepting these products as part of their lifestyle. In terms of responsibility towards the environment, I think it's this industry has a huge responsibility towards enhancing the nutrition profile of our consumers. And for that part, I think that a lot of work has happened in the last few years by fortification of vitamin A and D. and many other such nutrients, micronutrients into various product lines that not only Mother Dairy sells, but I'm sure across various companies, people have used these ingredients to enhance the fortification and nutrition profile of our consumers. As a socially responsible citizen, it is also our responsibility as an industry to be innovative and towards packaging and environment. So I think all the companies have really worked towards saving or protecting the environment by being socially responsible. So plastic usage is one of the things. I think environment-friendly packaging is extremely important, and innovation in those fields will really help in terms of preserving. So for example, in our case, we have developed paper pulp trays and eliminated the use of secondary plastic tray, which we used to do earlier in the dahi cups. And that has really helped in terms of reducing the amount of plastic that is being used. Again, the milk film that we used, we also have a token milk, which is there. All these things have really helped in terms of saving huge amount of plastic and recycling of all the plastics as part of our social responsibility. Another thing which I think as an industry one would like to focus upon is how do we connect with the consumer from a various channel and product category perspective. And I think our industry has been not only front runner, but also adapted to the market requirements. When we see the emergence of from a traditional kirana and grocer model, a lot of new age delivery models and new age technology models are developing and have developed in the last few years. And I think our industry is adapting to that willingly. And also it is important for us to, as an industry or a company, to be aware of these new age product formulation, new age delivery mechanisms which the consumer is really asking for today. And I think if we are able to adapt to these changing needs which the consumer is expecting from us, we would be able to give our farmers or producers the right price and earning which is desired. So as an industry, it is extremely important for us to focus on both sides. On one side, we work towards increasing farmer income through various innovations which have already been talked about. On the other side, it is important that we create more and more value-added products so that our consumers are more and more motivated to consume the dairy products or products which are derived out of the dairy industry, so that we keep on increasing the size of this industry compared to many other industries. So I think that's all I have to share. Thank you very much, and all the best to you for this whole program.
Mr. Bandish, thank you. Thank you for sharing very useful market, consumer and packaging insights. I think it would really help the industry to innovate products and look at the trends and maybe shape up their strategies based on that. Our next speaker needs no intro. Dr. Sodhi, I think he himself is a brand name. Industry has huge regard for him. And I can also see a photograph of Dr. Kurian on the back wall. I think it's really, we all have a great regard for him, and dairy industry thinks of Dr. Kurian to be a father figure. So now I request Dr. Sodhi to please address us.
Yeah, good evening, and thank you, Dr. Rajiv Singh, for giving me this opportunity. You have rightly mentioned Dr. Varghese Kurian. Let me also inform all the members who are attending this webinar that tomorrow, 9th of September, is the day of 2012 when Dr. Varghese Kurian left us. And we are also going to celebrate his 100th centenary year, because he was born 100 years exactly on this 26th of November. So we have informed all the industry, cooperative institutions that whatever way they want to celebrate, Dr. Korean's 100 years centenary. It will be very useful because then we will be able to communicate to the whole country what are the achievements of Dr. Verghese Kurian and how with innovations and with latest advancement and technology, a person like Dr. Kurian changed a country which was a milk deficit country toward largest producer and the fastest growing country. And not only that, he ensured that as compared to other so-called technological advanced innovative countries, the farmers or producer of India are getting the maximum share of consumer. And that is, you see, when you say topic of innovation advancement as a farmer employee, the first thing which comes to my mind is this innovation and advancement for whom we are talking. No doubt, if you have to be relevant and contemporary in any field, you have to see that you run, when you innovate your organization, structures, etc., and technology, so that you are not left behind. But one has to see that the benefit of these innovations or efficiencies are passed on to whom. And we know in case of India, dairy supply chain, both sides is supply chain, both sides has got the masses. One side we have got 3.6 million farmers in case of Amul and 100 million of Indian dairy industry, which each having 2 or 3 animals, and similarly 1.35, 1.38 billion consumers. So Indian dairy industry, which has become self-sufficient, basically has innovated, adopting the technology which is useful, which is efficient, which is helpful for the small holders and small consumer, and ensuring that minimum money or costing is spent in between the producer and consumer. And we know in case of milk, it is 85%. Now coming to the latest innovation and advancement, I think right from day one, if you see, when Amul model was made, 1946, and then 1975 onward and to be replicated, the structure itself is an innovation. The 3-tier structure that farmers are owning the whole supply chain, right from village cooperative society, district union, state federation, and the brand. Nowhere in the world where farmers own end-to-end the whole supply structure, and that too with 100% consumer product, branded product. A lot of country cooperatives are there, but cooperatives are mainly only in procurement or in bulk commodity like New Zealand, etc. But it is India's structure which is innovative structure for the smallholder. So we have to see that this structure, which has been built 75 years back, is further innovated by adoption of latest technology. Now, briefly, if I want to talk about the innovation, the whole supply chain, right from farmer level, whether it's a milk production or in feeding or breeding, then the technology in transportation of milk, technology for the latest processing, then technology or advancement in the milk storage or milk product storage, and most innovation now which is happening with the latest changing environment is in marketing or distribution of branding of dairy product, because with this MFS, e-commerce, and then a lot of other fake products coming, one has to see how you are able to innovate yourself that you are relevant to the today's generation and make available. Now coming to the farmers level, if I talk, one is we know that Gerber method was launched in 1946, where transparency was there. The farmer knew that what is the fat and SNF of the milk. But with the latest innovation is automatic milk collection system, where now farmers will post the milk, not only electronically, the milk is tested for fat and SNF or protein immediately the message goes to him through SMS, and also immediately money is credited on his account and digitally transferred to the farmer's account. So end to end, that is where the latest automatic milk collection system is there, and which is really made system very transparent and efficient. The second, I think, where we need a lot of other innovations, and because the industry is involved, and I was hearing the earlier speakers also, you see, innovation has been done a lot for the testing equipments, milk testing, but still I think we need to come out with the affordable, efficient milk testing equipment, especially to check adulteration, protein and fat, which every society, a village cooperative society can afford. Now, solutions are there with costing 2-3 lakh rupees or more. That I don't think there are more than 1.5 lakh milk collection center or cooperative and similar number or double than that of private sector, around 4 to 5 lakh milk collection center. That is where we need to have some innovation, and that is the challenge to the scientists and the people where they can come out with that thing. The other system I think is which is happening is the earlier milk used to be transported in can to the nearest chilling center. Now we have got bulk milk coolers. But in bulk milk coolers also now what the innovations are required is now with the demand of cow milk coming separately, buffalo milk coming separately, how to come out with the efficient, affordable, small bulk milk cooler where you can see and chill the milk at the village level for 500 or 1000 liters. And that too now with the solar technology. I think that is what we are experimenting, and it is working out very well. That is where industry has to come out with the innovation. The other area I think innovation is to keep the hygiene level better at the village collection center is the CIP, affordable CI system, so the bacterial load at the collection of milk is intact. Now coming to the farmers level is the feeding and breeding. You see, ours is a small holder where we are low input, low output model because we are feeding only roughage, a leftover of human consumption. So how to ensure that whatever feed we are feeding is converted to the maximum quantity of milk, and that is only possible with the breeding, best breeding. What we have seen, one is the fertility improvement program, because we had done few years back survey and we realized that 70 to 20% of the milk animals are never conceived even once or never gone pregnant. So they are eating the feed but not giving me one. So how to ensure that these never pregnant animals are identified and the regular treatment is done so that they become the pregnant. Second thing is, once you have got a artificial insemination is right from the last 50, 60 years going on. I mean, in Gujarat also we are doing at the 3 semen station, we are producing every year around 80 lakh semen doses in a 60 to 65 lakh we are using within India. But what is required is how to use the good pedigree cow for maximum calf production. So embryo transfer came, and now we are working on IVF, where the outside we are fertilizing the egg, so that one good cow and progeny testic bull and etc., we are able to take hundreds of calves from the one this, and that is only possible with IVF. So we have to see how we can adopt embryo transfer and IVF more frequently, but to make it happen in Indian condition, we have to say how to make it affordable and with the more efficiency, right from the conception rate to the getting the sex semen for the female calf with the maximum efficiency. That is the one big challenge. And I think gradually we have to see how to make this technology communicable to the farmers, affordable and more efficient. So that is happening at the farmer level. Then coming to the transportation level, with the road network improving, I think the bigger tankers are being used, and that too with 2-3 compartment where you can receive cow and buffalo milk separately when you go into each village cooperative society with the latest technology of taking samples. I mean, what happens generally, you collect the milk from village cooperative society and then a separate sample is taken which is sent separately, and then there are chances of malfunction. So what is the latest technology which we are adopting? I think once we make it affordable at major scale is when the milk is loaded in the tanker, automatically sample is taken and the sample of milk is not only tested, automatically communicated to the central systems where the fat and SNF and quantity is noted. So when tanker arrives, you can check it. There are no chances of malpractices, and that is the technology which we have done in Amul. And now we are initially this technology was imported. Now we have, with the help of IDMC and other, we are developing the local affordable technology where tankers are fitted with this. So opportunity to have a separate sampling system. Similarly, each tanker is also fixed with the GIS, so that you know that where tanker is there, and when every day you can change every route can change, the tanker can change because depending on the quantity available in the tanker and the space, so that minimum freight is reduced to minimum. I don't want to now, milk is coming to the dairy processing, and we know that a lot of technologies are available and better people are there on this who can talk what are the good technology processing sector available. But what I want to say is, in India, the processing technologies have to be available, affordable, right from a 1 lakh liter dairy to 50 lakh liter dairy. That is where we have to see that we are able to come out with the processing facilities and the technology. Now coming to the transportation, storage, no doubt. I mean, during this COVID, we have used this technology of logistically, where we had each tanker fitted with the global information system, geographic information system. So we knew where tankers are there, where your butter van is there, and whether it is there. And that is the latest thing. Now, what I want to talk, because briefly, because time is less, is latest technological development distribution system. See, now the personal interaction needs to be reduced, right from veterinary services to distribution. I mean, I left that veterinary service. Now the veterinary services also interactive systems we have developed, where farmers have to just put it on the app that his animal or cow or buffalo is not good, or you need AI or whatever, or the delivery. Automatically the message will be delivered to the concerned veterinary officer who is the nearby, who will either call the farmer to provide him on the line help or the treatment, or he'll visit the farmer for the treatment of the animal. And that interactive, and no doubt with the tagging coming, you just have to scan the thing, and automatically whatever treatment is done logged into the central system through SAP. So the next time when doctor comes, you know what treatment has been done, or what time AI has been done, whether he has to pregnancies due or not. I mean, this is a very detailed system. Now coming to a distribution management system, also distribution management system is now there. Initially was the distribution management system where with the mobile, the salesman is going to the shop to shop, and where he was just punching the order after going to each retailer, and automatically billing takes place, the central server, and the goods reaches him. But now one forward is, we call it Amul cart system, where retailer is punching the order on his app, sitting at the shop or in the night at home when he is at leisure. The next day, how much milk products he wants, automatically that whatever app order he has placed for butter, cheese, or anything product, next day order is going to the concerned distributor nearest to his shop, and automatically goods are delivered to him by the distributor next day. And you can monitor centrally that how many orders are pending or not delivered, how many shops are. I mean, monitoring is easy and it is happening. So there, I mean, these are a few examples I have given you, but dairy industry is such where you can go for 100 ways of innovation, technology adoption, which are happening, which can happen, and there is no stoppage. We have to, all the scientists, all the stakeholders, to what to see that how we can come out with the latest technology or digital technology. I'm not talking about the branding and marketing because time is not there. But let me tell you, there are hundreds of opportunities. But in the end, I want to emphasize whatever benefit of technological advance and innovation, one has to ensure that the benefit of it is shared with the producer or with the consumer. Thank you very much. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you. I think you started with the same point and ended with the same point. The benefit has to go to the farmer, and we need to balance the interest of companies, farmers, and also the consumers. The Joint Secretary is not able to join. We have just been told. Ms. Varsha Joshi is still busy in a meeting. However, we will now go ahead with the interactions. I would request my colleague, Madhuparna, to take it ahead. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. We have identified around 4 or 5 important questions for our sponsors, companies, and other panelists. So I will just read out the questions. So if you could kindly address the questions. And so our first question is for ST Genetics. One of our attendees has asked that cost of sex semen and training for inseminators arrangement, is it possible? And what is the cost to farmer of the sex sorted semen and SS semen, of which breeds of cows and buffaloes are available? Are we able to see the reproductive performance of these foods? Over to Mr. ST Genetics.
Okay, so thank you for the question. I think I already answered the question online, but I will repeat. The sex-sorted semen from almost all the breeds of Indian breeds of cattle and buffaloes are available at 3 laboratories. One is in Pune at BIF, the other one is ULDB, Rishikesh, and the other one is in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. And the price is decided by the respective organizations. Having said, most of the semen are available within the state with a heavy subsidy from the government. So please contact the respective semen stations and you will be able to get the prices and availability. Coming to the conception rate result, we have lots of testimonials available on our website. That is stgen.in. And there are videos available. You can find out the results. It is from real testimonial from the farmers. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, question is for IDMC, where someone has asked, where preferably in South India can we see the refrigeration system with silo towers? Can be falling film chiller and ice silo can operate below 5-degree evaporation temperature also? IDMC, please.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Basically, this ice silo installation would be in this mega dairy Bangalore in South India. If we talk about this can be seen regarding this temperature of evaporation. In ice silo, basically -5 degrees centigrade evaporation of ammonia would take place. Thank you. I think I have appropriately replied to the question.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Our next question is for prompt equipments. What is the operation cost per liter Milko-Chill units? Prompt equipments, please.
Yes. If you go directly by the operational energy cost per day for a 500 liter per day capacity, it comes to below 15 paisa, more like 13 paisa. But if you also include the hot water that is recovered as a additional byproduct, then it drops to below 10 paise per liter. And my email contact can be shared so that more discussion, more detailed interactions can be had.
Yes. We are sharing the contact details and also some of the PPTs also with the attendees.
Absolutely.
And we have already shared the today's YouTube link with all of them.
Thank you.
Thank you. So our next question is for Hindustan Thermostatics. With the raw milk loaded at tanker, how does the buyer check the same volume or fat content is received by him at plant? Does the solution raise a flag for delay in transportation? Will the plant owner to able to track the location of vehicle getting the milk to his plant? Question for Hindustan Thermostatics.
Yes, ma'am. The best solution for this problem is RMRD solution. We call it a raw milk reception dock. In this, what happens is, in case you have 10 milk collection points, we will collect the data. And when all the physical milk comes to your milk collection point, it is rechecked. And it is rechecked with the RMRD solution we have discussed in our slides. You can write to us. We can provide you a proper videos how it has been done. And talking about the GPS tracking of the tankers and the delay in that, yes, we have the solution. Kindly provide us your case study so that we can give you a proper application for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The next question is for Frick India. Do you have any solution for micro small dairy? Do you have some refrigeration solution that has chargeable cold room which can be loaded on Isuzu cargo, like to ensure that the raw milk is safely transported to its destination within 45 minutes to 300 minutes? Over to you, Frick India.
Madhaparna, can you just repeat the question, please? I got a little bit interrupted. Can you repeat the question?
Okay. I'm repeating this. Do you have any solution for micro small dairy? Do you have some refrigeration solution that has chargeable cold room which can be loaded on Isuzu cargo to ensure that the raw milk is safely transported to its destination within 45 minutes to 300 minutes?
No, actually, we don't have that facility, but there are vendors who are having, like, there are people who are having small trucks where you can keep about 4 degrees and it can be transported in a Isuzu truck or anything. It's like an insulated box with a reefer unit, but that is not made by Frick India, but there are vendors available. If you can write a mail to me, I'll connect you to the right person. It is available. Like people are transporting vegetables, etc. Same temperature is required for milk also. It can be done. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think another question is for Scala. Milk production is very high in India, but why is the cost of end product is so high? Can the raw milk waste be reduced? The price of end product of milk? Question for Stellups.
Yeah, I think at scale, when you deploy any technology, the cost can be brought down, including, I think there's some noise, including all technologies, as Sodhi sir mentioned, even things, if you want to do things like adulterant checking, you want to do contaminant checking, how do you make this technology work at the village level? At scale, it can be done. And we are actually doing this as trials in multiple parts of the country. So it certainly can be brought down. It's a matter of how can you deploy some of these technologies at scale.
Thank you so much. I would request all of you to stay back for some time because we are opening the forum for questions. Some people wants to ask some questions. So our admin, can you please open the forum for asking questions? They can raise hands and we can allow them to speak. Admin?
Yes, ma'am. I will allow. At first, raise hand, Shubhra Shah.
Yeah, Mr. Shah. please ask your question.
Mr. Shah, you have to unmute and ask.
Yeah.
Mr. Shah, please unmute and then ask. Maybe we can go to the next one.
Yeah, Shubhra Shah, you are not, you are mute. Next, yeah, Ms. Dr. Neeraj Gupta, please speak. Unmute and ask your question. Yeah, Dr. Gupta. Please unmute, Dr. Gupta. Uttam, can you please check? Dr. Gupta, please unmute.
Maybe if the host can unmute them.
No, sir. There have no provision. Actually, they can.
Okay, they only have to do it. Dr.
Okay.
Gupta, Mr. Saha,
Mr.
can you
Saha,
unmute and
yeah.
ask? I don't think so.
Anybody else?
Let's try one more. Else, I think we can maybe request them to mail it to us.
Yeah, Mr. Gaurav. Unmute yourself and ask the question. Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, regarding sexed semen, the partly was answered to write and get the details. But how about special training for the inseminators? Being a sex semen technique is different from a regular artificial insemination.
Yes, I can answer the question.
Yeah.
There is no special technique required for sex-sorted semen usage. Basically, what you need to do is to follow exactly the same technique 100% correctly every time. That is including semen handling, thawing, the time of thawing, the temperature of the thaw bath, etc. So everything has to be done correctly. And the only one thing you need to make sure when you're selecting the animal, cows for insemination,
Yeah.
when you are,
if you can mute. Madhuparna, if you can mute. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
please go ahead.
So
please
one thing you need to be make sure the cow you are selecting, cow or heifer you are selecting for use of sex-sorted semen, please make sure the cow is in good health. Make sure the cow has no reproductive diseases or repeat breeding problem. And then you can inseminate the cow with sex semen as normal as conventional semen. But I know normally many of the inseminators don't use the protocol correctly. Everybody knows the protocol on a paper, but nobody completely comply with the protocol. So strict compliance to the protocol of AI, that including semen handling, the position of the sperm inside the uterus of the animal. If you follow everything, that will do the same job as for conventional semen. Yes, ST Genetics India is trying to set up a training program for compliance in AI. You will be able to find that detail from our website very soon. Our website is stgen.in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Prakash. Dr. Neeraj Gupta. So anybody else? Anybody else? Yeah, Mr. Jha.
Vanshika Jha. Vanshika, Ms. Jha.
Vanshika Jha. Please unmute and yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I have just a question where we can contact. Actually, every new person can do this startup thing. We already started a plant in Bihar, but we don't know where we need to contact to get some support in marketing, in sales, and to expand the business.
So, any of the panelists would like to take it up?
Yeah, maybe I can try.
Mr. Malik, yes, please.
I can try basically. Interesting, you want to do the marketing, but okay, we cannot help you in marketing, but we can certainly help you selecting what all products you can make. Any kind of process information you want, like any kind of product to be made, based on our information, we can suggest you what all products are selling, and how efficiently these products can be processed and manufactured in a small right from a small capacity to any capacity you want. So that way, if it helps you, you can connect with us anytime. Thank
Sure,
you.
sir. Thank you, Mr. Malik. Thank you so much.
Anybody else?
I think Mr.
Mr.
Ramnath.
Vadak. Yeah, Mr. Ramnath Vadak. Please unmute and speak.
यस हेलो आवाज आ रही है मेरी
Yes, please speak.
हाँ हाँ आ रही है, आवाज आ रही है, बोलिए।
आईसीसी के बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूँ मैं जो बोलने की अनुमति दी। फिलहाल मैं तो एक फार्मर हूँ और दोपहर से लगातार जितने भी स्पीकर ने अपनी स्पीच दिए काफी बढ़िया थी और हम उसी से बहुत खुश हैं। लेकिन मेरा एक सवाल है कि हम सप्लाई चेन की जब बात करते हैं तो फर्स्ट सप्लाई चेन का प्रायोरिटी है फार्मर, और फार्मर के लिए मिल्क प्रोसेस करना या दूध निकालना मतलब मिल्क प्रोडक्शन करना, उसके लिए जरूरत है फॉडर की। फॉडर सिक्योरिटी इज द मस्ट। लेकिन आज हम जितने भी फॉडर यूज करते हैं, मेश साइलेज हो, मल्टीकट वैरायटी हो, ग्रास हो, तो उसमें नई नई वैरायटी लाने की जरूरत है और उसका अवेयरनेस करना भी उतना ही जरूरी लगता है। और उसके लिए जो मशीनरी आती है, इक्विपमेंट्स चाहिए, वो आज के दिनों में आज तो मुझे कोई भी साइलेज मेकर या बेल साइलेज इस सेशन में नहीं दिखाई दिया। तो मैं गुजारिश करता हूँ कि जो साइलेज मेकिंग मशीन्स के इक्विपमेंट्स आते, यदि उन्हें इनवाइट किया जाए तो उसकी काफ़ी जानकारी हम किसानों को मिल जाएगी और उस मशीनरी कैसे ऑपरेट होती है, कम लागत वाले किसान कैसे यूज कर सकते हैं, इसके बारे में भी जानकारी मिल जाएगी। और दूसरी बात है, जो साइलेज बनाते हैं, एक्चुअली हम महाराष्ट्र से, हमारे यहाँ पे जो साइलेज बनता है तो वहाँ पे काफ़ी सारी दिक्कतें आती है, जैसे अल्फाटॉक्सिन उसमें बढ़ जाता है, दूध की मात्रा घट जाती है, रिपीट ब्रीडिंग की समस्या आती है, मैस्टाइटिस जैसी समस्याएं आ रही है। तो इसके लिए उसका प्रॉपर अवेयरनेस करना भी जरूरी है। अपनी एनडीडीबी की टीम काफ़ी हद तक इसके लिए अवेयरनेस करती है, लेकिन पूरी तरह से हम उसे अवेयर नहीं कर रहे, ऐसा मुझे लगता है। तो मैं आईसीसी और सभी अपने इंडिया के जितने भी पैनलिस्ट है उनसे गुजारिश करूंगा, ऑर्डर सिक्योरिटी के रिगार्डिंग जितनी भी वर्क हो सके वो करना बहुत जरूरी लगता है, क्योंकि वही एक बेस है ऑर्डर सिक्योरिटी, जो सबसे सस्ता है और 70% खर्चा उसी पे होता है फार्मर का। तो उसी से रिगार्डिंग हमें इनपुट्स ज़्यादा लाने चाहिए। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद, आपका बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट था, तो हम लोग उसको ध्यान में रखेंगे। और अगर आपका मान लीजिए कोई इंटरेस्ट है साइलेज का कोई मशीनरी इक्विपमेंट वाली कंपनी से मिलने का, तो आप हमको अलग से ईमेल लिखें, हम लोग आपको एक दो कंपनी जो है उससे हम लोग मिला देंगे। और बाकी ये बात है कि स्टेट लेवल पे जो पॉलिसीज हैं, तो क्या वहाँ पे क्रॉप है और फॉडर सिक्योरिटी के लिए स्टेट का क्या प्लान है, तो उसके लिए हम लोगों को अगर आपका कुछ इनपुट होगा तो हम लोग महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट से उसको पिकअप भी कर सकते हैं। धन्यवाद।
Anybody else? Mr. KD, please unmute and ask your question.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
बोलिए बोलिए।
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Yeah. Good evening, all. Actually, I am participating from Kolkata, West Bengal. Actually, we are into lots of business like schools, hospitals, sports, fields, but now we are trying to open our own dairy farm. For that purpose, I need to purchase some proper indigenous cow like ghee, maybe Sahiwal or Tharparkar may be considered. And from where I can get the proper pure indigenous cow? My question number one. And second, what is the procedure for A2 certification? Thank you. Hello.
Would any of the panelists like to take it up? Dr. Prakash, could you give him some inputs?
I don't know where you can get the indigenous cows because I don't live in India. I live in the UK. Still, I know some places the gear animals could be available from Gujarat. You need to find some breeders.
Sure.
But my colleagues in India can help you. So if you email us with our details, so you can pass on my email to him, or we can try to help him out on that.
Sure.
And I didn't understand his question about A to Z. What is that question?
Sir, it's A2 certificate milk.
Oh, yeah, A2. Okay, so again, most of the indigenous cattle milk is supposed to be A2 milk. So you are on the right track if you want A2. Indigenous cattle is the right way to go. There are A2 milk available on the Holstein and Jersey as well. And if you visit our website, the US website, not the Indian website, you can see the ranking of the bulls based on A2 as well. So I hope this helps. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
I think NDDP will also be able to help us with some information on the kind of breeds and from where all you can buy. Sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, please.
Thank you.
Please share me the details. Thank you.
Mr. Prabhaskar, please unmute and
Mr.
ask the
Mehta.
question.
Hi, this is Prabhaskar from Lakhisarai, Bihar. First of all, I must say thanks to all those speakers who gave a very good informative idea regarding the dairy. My question is to, actually still we are facing some problem regarding availability of sexed sorted semen in Bihar. So can you please help us to how we can get sexed sorted semen in Bihar easily?
Yes. Shailendra, are you there in the meeting?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
can you answer him?
Yeah, addressing to Mr. Mehta question. Yes, sex-sorted semen is available in Bihar, and there is one center from BIAF in Patna, and you can easily get. You can go to our website and you can easily get the detail of that center. You can get the number from there, and you can contact them, and they will help you to get all the information, how they deliver and what breed they have.
My point is that since Patna is 144 kilometers from my native, so how we can manage the supply chain? Can you please help me out?
Okay. In Bihar, there are many in many blocks they have AI centers also. So these centers are in which district you are in Bihar?
Lakhisarai. Lakhisarai, yeah.
Lakhisarai.
Lakhisarai. Okay. So they have many centers, AI centers in different districts, and they are all coordinated from Patna. So if you go to our website, you will get our number. You can drop down your message. Definitely, we will be replying the concerned person, and you can contact them, and your problem will be resolved.
Shailendra, you can share your number with him and he can contact you and connect him through.
Please.
Can you write my number? It's 8400.
Just a moment, give me a second. 884. Doctor sir, can you please repeat your number?
8400.
You can put it in the chat box.
122
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Just request all the attendees today. Tomorrow we will have another session on processing and technology. Very interesting session starts from 3 o'clock. So I would request everybody to join tomorrow. Tomorrow also we have got very eminent panelists from different fields of dairy industry. So now I would request Dr. Rajiv Singh to give the vote of thanks and summing up for today's
Thank
session.
you. I think we had highly engaging and interesting sessions, and I must compliment and thank all our speakers for sharing their knowledge and making the whole session very, very useful and interactive. So to begin with, I would like to thank Mr. Rajkumar Malik, Dr. Prakash Kalarikal, Dr. Sudhindra Tati, Mr. Minesh Shah, of course, Honorable Minister, Mr. P. Sudhir Kumar, Mr. Sanyam Jain, Mr. Ranjit Mukandan, Mr. Ajit Patel, Mr. Manish Bandlish, and Dr. R.S. Sodhi. We are thankful to all of you for sparing your time and sharing your expertise and knowledge. I think as you have seen from the Q&A, we have a very diverse participants here, right from farmers to small companies to smaller dairy farms. And I'm sure most of them have really benefited from your thoughts. And I would also like to thank all our partners, ministry, all our sponsors for supporting. As you have already heard, tomorrow again, we have very eminent experts and speakers. So I would request all of you to please join us again. With this, I would like to once again thank all our experts and all our participants. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
so much.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks
We'll be
for
closing
joining
now.
us. Yeah.
Thank you.
Tomorrow, end of the session, we will give the certificate.
Thank you.